Hi, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I just felt like making that joke. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Okay, can you guys hear me well enough? And more follow-up question. Is my voice noticeably louder than the music? Because I looked at last week's VOD, and yeah, the music was a lot louder than I was, and that was a little too much for comfort, to say the least. So, I would like to believe the volume has been adjusted accordingly, and... Okay, guys, I don't know how much y'all pay attention to the Loud House community on YouTube, but Kanji just uploaded. And, well, it's a relatively interesting subject. I don't know, apparently some of my viewers said hi. I left a comment at the bottom, and some of my viewers actually even said hi to me, as a matter of fact. So I figured, hey, let's react to it. Just because this is the guy known for pretty much exposing all of the creepy shit that goes on in the Loud House fandom. And you know what? In some capacity, I have relative curiosity, and I just realized I deleted the template for the tier list, but you know what, we can get that back. I got all the screenshots ready, but with that being said, I kind of want to react to this before we get to the tier list. I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, I'm gonna do it anyways, but I want to hear what you guys think, more or less. But alright, you know what, let's get the template ready before anything else, just so I don't forget. And did I not turn off my ad block already? I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, whatever. Okay, hopefully the audio is fine, but by all means, guys, don't let me know if something is wrong. Like, if the music is a lot louder than me, then by all means, don't be afraid to speak up. And also, for the reasons, as far as the reasons why Sunday stream was canceled, well, I'm not gonna disclose a lot of personal information. I will just say that I had to go to a funeral, so that's really the only reason I didn't. That's really the only reason I couldn't stream on Sunday, because the night before, I had to go to a funeral. I stayed up until 1 in the morning, and honestly, my family was way too sad for me to just stream in good conscience, more or less. That's all I'm gonna say in that regard. But alright. With that being said, let's get the template ready. I thought I just clicked there you go, make your own template, that's what I want. Single-use template. I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of every title card in Season 6. I should have it here. Okay, I think that should cover it. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I actually had this completely ready before stream started, but I accidentally closed the window, so that's on me. There you go. I don't think it's in release order for whatever reason. Yeah, it definitely isn't. I'm pretty sure it started with Present Danger. Alright, 2 more. And I think that's all of Season 6, but there's really no way to know for sure without counting it one by one, and honestly, I am in no mood to be doing that. Okay, that looks better. That looks more formal. Lincoln and Sam... Yeah, he did cover It's Not Your Fault. He covered another really messed up fan comic and whatnot. He covers a lot of weird shit that goes on in fandoms and whatnot, and... Well... I don't mean to put it too bluntly, but as far Kanji, my guy, the Loud House fandom is pretty much paying your bills, my dude. I don't know how else to put it, but what's up, guys? But alright, before we get to the tier list, yeah, I kind of want to react to this, just for the fun of it, guys. So, wait, is the audio good enough? It should be. Okay, let me lower it. Hopefully I can hear it well enough on my end, but if you guys can't hear it well enough, by all means, let me know. Yeah, he definitely exposes the dark side of the fan base. All the rancid corners of DeviantArt, Tumblr, you name it. But alright, it's only about 11 minutes long, guys. I don't think I'm going to be here for like a whole hour like I was with the Toonchi's Loud House video or Toonchi's Owl House video. For some reason, a lot of shows with the word house in it. Anyways. Mudkip has passed away? Did the Mudkip disappear for... Okay. John, don't freak me out like that. Like, seriously, guys, last week, nobody told me that the Mudkip and the chat box went missing from the layout. And honestly, it drove me crazy that it was like that for like 20 minutes. Honestly, I think when it comes to spy-themed episodes, Present Danger is pretty much the only David Steele episode-esque episode that I genuinely tolerate. Just because, okay, it's Lincoln's birthday. He probably already had an Ace-Savvy-themed birthday at some point. Like, I don't know. They really work well with it. But anyways.
Self-shipping is probably...
The man who wants to date a Loud House character, and yes, okay, why am I saying yes? There's no suspicion. For some reason, Stella is in the thumbnail, which... Y'all already know how I feel about Stella. She is pretty much the only sane girl in this entire series. And you know what? Let's just get into it before I say anything.
Probably one of the cringiest things I can imagine someone doing on the internet.
I mean, my guy, how long have you been on the internet? I mean, it's a common practice. It's very condemnable, but it's unfortunately a very common
The
practice.
levels of secondhand embarrassment I get every time I see a self-shipping.
Oh God! Oh God! Okay, I am so getting demonetized. Oh God.
I start reconsidering my will to live. But
Yeah, same, my guy, same. Hi, Tails. What's up?
here's the thing. As much as it's cringe, awkward, and gay, self-shipping
Wait. I guess in some context it is literally gay, but okay, you know what? I'll let him finish.
is everywhere in fandoms. People get so obsessed with a fictional character that they just
Ugh.
have to let the world know how much they love
Grown men and more than likely also women just yikes, man.
them. Like, congratulations, you're dating a fucking image. While self-shipping in
It is genuinely so pathetic, man. How uninteresting and miserable do you have to be with your current life to resort to this kind of shit? I genuinely, it's more or less, it's not rhetorical. Hello, Frost Shooter. Welcome to the stream.
general isn't really an issue. I mean, the internet's a free country.
Nope, nope. If this is where it's going, where I think it is, nope, nope. Skip ahead. Thank you.
Themselves with some anime waifu built like a busted
Like, dude, it's one thing to call a character like best girl or calling her your waifu, but this is just sad, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Retro, I don't know anything about My Little Pony, and you know what? Maybe it's best it stays that way. If this is my first impression, maybe it stays that way.
Roblox avatar and start talking about full-grown
Ew.
obese men pairing themselves
Okay, I know it's a Wojak, but that's still a pretty disgusting image.
with characters who look and act like literal children.
Because
That's the
they
point
are.
where self-shipping stops being quirky fan behavior and turns into something really creepy. And to the
The gif of XQC. Like, you remember when he was... Like, you remember when he wasn't blonde and he was just a casual Overwatch streamer? I miss those days, man.
Today, I'm going to talk about one of those creepy people. Meet Jacob Stepp, a full-grown man who generally believes he's married to Stella Zoo. From
Yeah, that's not how you pronounce it, but you know what? I'm just judging from his accent, I'm assuming that's not his first language, so I'll give him a pass.
the Loud House series, a character who is and very much looks like a 12-year-old.
Because she is,
I
dude.
first came across Jacob when I was on Twitter,
Oh my
digging
gosh.
through some cringe Loud House accounts looking for content, when I suddenly stumbled across the following post.
Yeah, guys, if you value your sanity, do not type the Loud House or hashtag the Loud House or anything resembling the Loud House on Twitter search bar. You are gonna... Ugh. Oh my god, Elon, get on that shit, man.
At first, I honestly thought this had to be fake. I mean, the image even had a mimetic watermark. But then, I decided to look up the Instagram account in the post,
Oh,
called
gosh.
Jacob Stepp. And after scrolling
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. Your Sona looks nothing like you in real life. Like, I hate it when people do that. It's...
through everything his account had posted, I finally realized this wasn't fake at all or even satire. This account belonged to a real man
a real, literal neckbeard. Good god.
who generally thought he was in a relationship with a fictional
Ah!
character, most of which showed his self-insert.
Ah!
He's
Why do I... Okay, I need to calm down. Oh, otherwise I'm gonna get my landlord's attention again. But what the fuck is this?
kissing Stella, marrying her, or even having a family. And while some of these drawings featured an aged-up version of Stella,
At the very
majority
least,
still show her exactly
it's still
as
really...
she
It's still really pathetic.
appears in the show. Where
Why is
Stella
Girl
is
Jordan
in
there?
middle
Like,
school.
what am I...
You see the problem here, right?
Yeah.
We have a man that looks like he's in his late 30s having the fantasy of dating a cartoon child. Like, that's really creepy to say the least. Well, in Jacob's defense, it does seem like he's on the spectrum, if you know what I mean.
Does being on the spectrum mean anything else? Whatever.
He seems to have difficulty talking and also in writing coherent messages, as we are going to see later on.
You would
when
think
I
someone would
message them.
rein in,
Yes,
but...
I actually got in
Tails, I am relatively aware of the furry fandom, and you know what? That's all I need to know.
contact with Jacob, and we'll get to that shortly.
Ugh.
Other than his drawing posts, there's nothing too unusual on Jacob's Instagram account. Some posts are him wishing happy birthday to celebrities like Joe Biden, others are
That's still really cringe, guys. If you okay, wishing a happy birthday to a politician, let alone giving a shit about politicians to that degree, what are you doing, man?
just holiday celebrations, and then there's one peculiar post where
doesn't sound so
Jacob
bad.
accidentally revealed his phone information, including his
Oh.
real phone number. This really shows just how little self-awareness Jacob has. When you are posting this kind of content online, the last thing you want to do is expose your face and your phone number, because that's basically
Okay.
inviting online harassment to your
Yeah.
door. Since there's nothing else worth mentioning
I'd like to believe he was smart enough to change his phone number.
about his Instagram account, let's move on to Jacob's second social media, Threads. And honestly, I don't
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot Threads existed for a second.
think I have ever met a single soul who actually uses this social media. Unlike
Okay, it's not
Instagram,
just me.
Threads actually forces you to create an account if you want to view anyone's profile or posts. So, figured this was the perfect opportunity to get in contact with the man himself. Under the alias Marty Madrazo, I went undercover to gather some intel on Jacob's relationship with Stella. The
Yeah, if you can even call it that.
first step was following Jacob's account on Threads because for some reason you can't DM someone unless you both follow each other.
Why is his Avi Lana crying? Like, what am I?
Even if their profile is
Average
public.
DeviantArt user? Yep,
Thankfully,
pretty
Jacob
much.
followed me back almost instantly. And look at that. He even made a drawing of Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner to signal our brand new friendship.
Okay.
Apparently, this is some kind of ritual for Jacob, because nearly 90%
seems-
of his posts are just him tagging random people who followed him alongside a drawing of some cartoon character.
Okay,
he made.
that's an-
Although
seems like an innocent
sometimes
gesture.
The drawings get, a little peculiar.
Oh god, what the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, guys, viewer discretion is advised. I probably should have said this at the beginning of the reaction. Viewer discretion is freaking advised. Oh god. I might just if I get like a DMCA claim or a TOS claim, what can I tell you guys?
Actually getting in contact with him. And since he went out of his way to make that
Yeah, that is definitely a trace. I definitely recognize that renderer of Lola and Lana.
nice drawing for me, I decided to leave a comment saying how much I liked it.
Okay,
To
my guy,
which
you did
Jacob
not need to flatter
replied,
him that much.
Thank you. Coyote and Roadrunner Looney Tunes classic cartoon.
Yeah, that doesn't exactly sound right. Like I said earlier, Jacob struggles quite a lot with writing coherent messages.
Okay, I'm not sure what the legal ramifications are, but if he is this mentally and legally and mentally unstable, why the hell is he allowed anywhere near social media? Genuine question, because I honestly don't know how the law works in that regard.
Most of the time, it's just random words thrown together instead of an actual sentence. I asked him if he had a DeviantArt account. He said yes, and honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone. I mean,
Yeah. Look no further than DeviantArt, I guess.
just take a look at some of his drawings.
Why? I hate it here. I hate it here. Oh, God.
Bella, which, okay, sounds like he's saying he used to date Stella but isn't dating her anymore. But if that's the case, why is he still posting drawings of himself with her? Confused, I asked him if he was not dating Stella anymore, to which he said
Oh, God.
no. But when I asked him why, he quickly retracted his statement by saying, I mean, yes, she my girlfriend Elizabeth.
Who's what am I?
asked him
Yeah.
who the f- was
Okay.
Elizabeth, and he sent me this drawing of his OC with, I guess, Elizabeth. And then I asked
What
him
is
why
it?
did he break up with Stella.
Oh my
To
god. Why are we humoring this crap, man?
which he responded, no, I have a girlfriend, Stella Zhao.
What?
Okay,
Okay.
I'm completely
Yeah,
lost.
I'm lost.
First Jacob says he's not dating Stella. Then suddenly
Oh,
he's
God.
with Elizabeth. And then, out of nowhere, he's
You gotta
back
do
with
what you gotta do
Stella
for the
again.
research.
Trying to get answers out of this guy is basically impossible.
Yeah.
It's almost like talking to a toddler. But to be fair,
Jeez.
it's probably because Jacob suffers from some sort of mental disability. I can't confirm that, of course, it's just my speculation. By this point,
Probably
I
your
was
best
getting pretty
speculation.
tired of the conversation, so I
Uh-huh.
decided to just cut the chase and asked if he knew the character was 12 years old, to which he replied,
What did he say?
yes, but, and then nothing.
What?
Instead of finishing his sentence, Jacob sent me some random fan art of Ronnie Ann and Stella fighting over Lincoln, which wasn't even
Okay.
It
Well, at least he gave credit.
was at this point that I completely gave up on talking to Jacob and decided to dig deeper into his account. This led me to discover another peculiar profile called Green Stella Zhao, which Jacob would often tag in his other account. This account
Okay.
appears to be someone impersonating the character Stella, which is already sad enough on its own.
Oh my god, this fandom is so freaking embarrassing, man. Role-playing fictional characters, self-shipping, like all of it. Why is this a thing, man? It's a slice of life Nickelodeon show. Can't we just watch it and appreciate it the way normal people can? Oh my god.
But it gets even sadder when you realize it's probably Jacob running this account as well.
Probably.
The writing style is really similar to his, with the same kind of
Who
barely
is deadass? Who is liking this crap? Why does he have anything more than one? Oh god.
comprehensible messages that make no sense half the time. Jacob probably uses this account to roleplay with himself, basically pretending that the real Stella from the Loud House is actually talking to him. I guess Jacob doesn't know you can now have an AI girlfriend based on a real cartoon
Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas, Cam G.
character, which could have saved him a lot of effort. There's nothing particularly interesting about this account.
Ugh.
Most of the posts are just a Loud House character.
Ross, just look away, man. Just look away.
Phones, which is oddly specific, but I don't think it's a fetish. At least I hope so.
It probably is for whatever.
After not
for-
getting the answer I
amidst his presumed mental disabilities, is there any way to interpret this innocently? No.
wanted from Jacob, I decided to go investigate his DeviantArt account. Maybe there I would be able to find the reason why he was hyperfixated on dating a 12-year-old character from the law.
Bro, the way he censors his the way Camji just censors some terms, it's just the sound effects are just what is that? Play it again. Hold on.
The reason why he was hyperfixated on dating a 12-year-old
Just a
character from the Loud House. Well, I did not find the answer.
Retro,
but
I have
did
no idea who
find a
that is.
shit ton of
Oh, okay. At least it's censored. At least it's censored.
Jacob isn't picky at all.
I thought it was gonna
He
startle
all
me.
sorts of stuff. Inflation.
Ah! God, the things I put up with for the sake of research, man, or curiosity, more or less.
Not mentioned. He also has a very specific thing where he likes to put golden hubcaps, like those things that cover tires on cars, over the asses and boobs of the characters. Like, you really can't get any more specific than this.
Why?
Jacob also.
Okay, it could have been a lot worse. Okay, Fiona is 18, right? They never confirmed her age, but you know what? I'm gonna.
In roleplay with
I don't wanna
other
fixate on
users
it.
In the comments of his own posts. Take this one for example.
Oh,
where
God.
Jacob
Okay, at
roleplays
least it's
as
censored.
Lola from the Loud House, which, by the way, is supposed to be 7 years
She's
old.
7.
While
You
another
freak.
random
Oh my
user
God.
Roleplays as someone raising up Lola.
Hello, Lola.
Hi.
You have such a big ass.
Oh God, why? Why?
Many burgers?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is wrong with people?
File is full.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Oh my God.
Overall, Jacob's DeviantArt profile is
Somebody please check this fucker's hard drive, take his internet away. I don't care what kind of mental disability he got. Take it all away, please.
full of hand-drawn art that's probably traced from someone else's work, packed with obese men simping for underage characters in the comments. So, basically just an ordinary DeviantArt gallery,
Yeah.
without all the furry stuff.
Oh God.
Sadly, I wasn't able to find the exact reason behind Jacob's fixation on Stella, but honestly, there probably isn't one. People like Jacob who clearly struggle with some mental problems and also don't get
I mean, one creep like this is one thing, but the fact that this is such a relatively common practice in the Loud House fandom, and several other fandoms, but this is the only one we're focusing on right now. Like, it just tells me, like, oh my goodness, if this is the kind of people your show attracts, then maybe there's a problem within the show itself. That's all I can really say. Oh my gosh.
Much real-life interaction often end up getting attached to fictional characters instead.
Pokemon Power, we'll get to that soon enough. Hold on. Yeah, I did say I was going to talk about Lori Days, but then I had to cut stream short last time. Hold on, give me a second.
Building relationships with them to make up for the ones they weren't able to make in real life. He is also terminally
I mean, he
online
looks
and
young,
surrounds
and
himself with
I mean, I don't know exactly how old this guy is, but he looks young enough to still make it, man.
other people just like him, and make
Oh,
him think
gosh.
that being in a relationship with a fictional character,
Let alone a child, no less.
one who clearly looks like a minor, is actually okay. Again, I don't condemn any harassment towards Jacob. As much as this whole situation is weird and creepy, he is just some random guy on the internet who clearly isn't well and needs some help.
Yeah, that goes for he wouldn't be the first of he's only the first of many, man. That's all I can tell you in this regard. Yeah, he looks like he's in what, late 20s, early 30s. I don't know, man. I can't determine an age just based off appearance, but good God,
Making fun of his
what are we
posts is
doing?
one thing,
What do people
but
do with their
don't go
lives?
out of your way to harass him. That is not the point of
Yeah,
these
I'm not
videos.
going to. I'm just gonna speak my mind on my own platform. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, guys. I know it's very tempting, but do not go out of our way to look this guy up and harass him. Please and thank you. As disgusting as this might is, we still have to uphold a certain principles. Know what I mean? But all right, that was that, and I hope you guys appreciate what I do, because a lot of that was genuinely repulsive, disgusting. Oh my goodness. There are 17 of you in chat. Thank you guys so much for actually making it worth my while, more or less. But all right, guys. Okay, is it just me? Is the music a little too loud? No, it's just on my end. But alright. Alright, somebody was asking. We more or less finished Season 5's tier list last week, but we couldn't get to Lori Days. Like, it was the last episode that we had to rank, and I didn't get to talk about it because I had to cut stream short. What was the point of this video? Just natural curiosity, Retro. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, that was very uncomfortable. That was very uncomfortable. In some ways, hey, it's content, but in other ways, good God, man. But alright, guys, this is the only episode of Season 5 we haven't ranked, and apparently a lot of people hold it in high regard. And I gotta think about it before I jump to that conclusion. I know I ranked it in the highest tier, but maybe that was a little too impulsive. He wasn't no Tony Chase? I have no idea who that is, Tails. The toilet humor, the cast of the majority being kids, it's something that I guess, just part of it, more or less. Like consistent toilet humor. A lot of the cast is underage. Is it just a burden that the show has to bear? Like, honestly, if the show had a little more respect when it comes to genuine criticism, would it attract these kinds of people? Like, if it had decent narratives most of the time? I don't know, man. There's another time to look into this, and that time is not now. But alright, Lori Days. What can I say? Lori's away at college. She feels like she's losing her connection with her family, so she visits them on a weekend. And then everyone's busy, and then when she gets a chance to spend time with all of them at once, she overdoes it a little. Like, they all go to Dairyland. She insists that everyone hops on a two-person ride at the same time. They get kicked out. I don't remember a lot about this episode. Like, I understand the premise. Lori's character is relatable, more or less, but she feels a little clumsy in that regard. Like, I don't know. Like I said, the whole Dairyland incident, like, a lot of the ideas in the episode, they feel a little forced, but at the same time, the ending was really sweet. You understand more Lori's emotional process, so yeah, I think I can keep it in an S. But alright, there's not much else I can really say. Let's get to the tier list. No more stalling, guys. No more stalling. Hello, Jorge. Good to see you again. Jorge, I just realized I have a coworker named Jorge, and I call him George, just nonchalantly. I straight up pronounce it George every time I call him. I'm like, hola George, ¿me puedes filmar esto? O sea, and then Here I am calling you Jorge, even when chat specifically encouraged me to refer to you as Jorge. I don't know, it's just a little ironic. But alright. Season 6. Yeah, all of these episodes are out of order. Where is... Okay, I don't know how this goes chronologically, but alright, let me... Let me name the tiers, and we'll work from there. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to change the names a little bit. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys, most, if not all of Season 6, can I really even call it solid? Definitely not S tier by any means. Like, at best, most episodes here are like a B plus or an A minus. Nothing that's actually a flat A or an S by any means. Like, like, the general consensus is, yeah, Season 6, Season 7, Season 5, that's when a huge decline in quality for the show started to go down. So what should I call the highest tier in this context? Should I call it solid again? Should I call it just nice? I think I'm just gonna call it nice. But alright, for the A tier, I'm just gonna call it okay. I think at this point we don't need a 5th bracket, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me think. Nice, okay. I'm just gonna say meh. And just like usual, the lower 2 tiers are just yikes. And nah, I feel like I've used dog water one too many times. I need another negative adjective to describe the worst of the worst. You know what? Sure. You know what? I like this. Abysmal, all caps. When I did a Season 6 tier list, I did the rankings from great to good to meh, then bad. Great, good, meh, bad. You know what? I'm comfortable with what I chose here. Zombie. Oh, sorry. It's the second half of the Loud House series. I don't know what's more terrifying. Probably this. Probably this. Like, I don't know. What zombies are we talking about? Walking Dead zombies? Because those you can easily kill. Like, they are not... Walking Dead zombies, like AMC's Walking Dead, like, those zombies are not a threat whatsoever. They walk so slow. Like, the only way one of them gets a bite on you is if they somehow manage to sneak up on you. But it's really easy. One knife jab to the brain, boom, they're dead. Now, if we're talking, like, say, World War Z zombies or something like that, where they, like, run really fast, they lunge at you, yeah, that is kind of scary. And one bite, suddenly you turn in a matter of seconds. No death, no nothing, you just straight up turn. Like, if it's that kind of zombie, then yeah, it's definitely to and fro. But alright. Lynn and Order. So apparently some people really don't like this episode for whatever it might be worth, but honestly, I thought it was acceptable. Just because, maybe it's because the bar for Lynn episodes is just really, really low. And like I've said in the past, I really dig her bond with Liam. And this really is no different. Unless someone wants to tell me something I don't know, if I'm being honest. Just because, hey, Lynn is too much of a hard ass as a hall monitor, Liam signs up to partner with her, and then turns out Liam's being a little too, being merciful more or less. Lynn doesn't like it, but then it turns out Liam's sense of mercy is actually relatively practical. And then Lynn realizes, you know what, maybe there is some benefits to being a little kind every now and again. Like, I don't know, Lynn definitely feels like she grows as a character in some capacity. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I want to rank it a nice, maybe a high okay, but I want to hear what chat has to say first. Yeah, I hate this one. Yeah, Oscar, can you explain that a little bit? The ending is so cruel for no reason. Okay, you know what, Oscar, that's one thing I've noticed in this show. Some of the conclusions, they're not meant to play into the narrative entirely. Like, think some episodes of SpongeBob. Like the episode with the giant worm. Like, at the end of the episode, the worm crashes, he destroys all of Bikini Bottom, and he just says, ow. They play some music, and then the episode ends. Like, it's supposed to be funny, to the point where hopefully you're not meant to take it seriously. Sometimes that doesn't work. It really doesn't. Like, in No Such Luck. Like, that ending, just as awful as the rest of the episode. But in this kind of context, it's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. Like, they give Lincoln an egg, and it's accidentally a raw egg, because it's a running gag throughout the episode is somebody bites an egg thinking it's hard-boiled, but it's actually raw. Like, I don't know. this kind of ending doesn't bother me. Like, it's not meant to be taken too seriously. Like, remember at the end of Potty Mouth, all the kids are like, "Yay, we're not a bad influence on Lily." And then at the end of the episode, Lily straight up drops an F-bomb. And you know what? Y'all think I'm screwing with you. But no, I'm dead serious. Lily Loud, 1-year-old, innocent, wholesome Lily Loud, straight up dropped an F-bomb. And hopefully I can find it here on YouTube. But let's see.
Nothing to worry about. We're not such a bad influence on Lily after all.
That is completely unedited, by the way. That bleep sound, the swearing, everything, completely unedited. Like, honestly, back in the day, this show had some serious balls. And you know what? Respect. That's all I can say is respect. I still hate Lynn. She's on channel levels of hate, being the worst character. Yeah, she's still my least favorite Loud sister. It's nice to see her grow as a character, but that doesn't make me like her anymore than I do the other sisters. So, but still though, this is a solid episode. I'm gonna place it. I'm torn between a low nice and a high okay. Is there an uncensored version? Probably not, Tracy. I think I of all people would have found it by now, if that were the case. All right, puns and buns. Benny has a part-time job at the Burpin' Burger. Luann visits. It turns out Luann's job at Dairyland is off-season, so Luann doesn't get a lot of time to spend with Benny, so they figure, hey, why doesn't Luann work here at the Burpin' Burger? But then, we know how Luann is. She's a little too playful, too impulsive with her puns and whatnot, so ultimately, Benny has to fire her. He can't bring himself to do it, so all these shenanigans ensue where Benny keeps trying to hide Luann from his manager so he doesn't get in trouble. But then he gets caught, and then Benny fesses up that he wants to fire Luann. He thinks Luann is going to dump her or get really upset. But then Luann understands. Like, yeah, she just wanted to make her boyfriend's workplace a little happier, but maybe she took it a little too far, and she accepts her termination. But then it turns out Luann can actually work flipping. Rather than working at the restaurant itself, Luann can just work flipping the sign right outside, where she's not a nuisance to any of the customers, more or less. And you know what? That's a very believable resolution, and I like the fact that they actually built on Luann and Benny's dynamic. Like, Benny is shy, but still happy to humor his girlfriend when he gets a chance, and we know how Luann is. So, yeah, works well off of the dynamics. It has a good lesson. It grows Luann and Benny's character for whatever it might be worth, so I want to place it in nice, but what do you guys think? Technically a sign spinner job? Yeah. I mean, what do you mean, Enigma? I mean, obviously it's a sign spinner job. Okay, either I'm tripping or the music is a little too loud. You know what? Let me just check OBS compared to my voice. You know, I'm gonna lower it a little bit just to play it safe. Just cause last week's VOD, it definitely made me a little uncomfortable. But alright, do I want to work from the bottom or do I want to work from the top? It was alright. I remember watching that episode. Lynn steals Lincoln's breakfast. I mean, it's not the first time. Lynn has done it, Oscar. Yeah, still a dick move. Yeah, it doesn't make me. Like I said, it's more or less played for a laugh in this episode, but it's not a very good laugh. But it doesn't really detract from the episode's plot, more or less. Like, you could easily write it out and nothing would change more, essentially. But alright. The last laugh. Lola accidentally damages Mr. Coconut, so Luann turns Lola into a puppet, into a literal puppet. At least to replace Mr. Coconut while he's being fixed. Turns out they really build an audience, they start building fame. Lola, of course, we know how vain and attention-starved Lola is. She really likes it, but then, by the time Mr. Coconut gets fixed, Luann can't bring herself to replace him. There's this whole lesson about appreciating your friends and your companions while they're still there. Like, I don't know. I know Mr. Coconuts means a lot to Luann, but at the same time... Okay, my dog is barking for whatever reason. I don't know what she's barking at, but... whatever. Okay, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought because of a dog barking. Yeah, Mr. Coconut sucks. I fully enjoy this one, but the ending is kind of dumb. I don't remember a lot about it. Like something about Lisa's robot having a beef with Todd. Like, I don't know. It's a relatively forgettable episode. Okay, hold on, guys. For some reason, the dog won't start barking, and, well, there's no one else who can deal with it, so I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Why is Emily... John? Who? Her name's not Emily. Who's Emily, John? Where'd you get Emily from? What? What's my next plan for a long-form video? At the moment, nothing. I do have plans for some videos, and as a matter of fact, if I wasn't streaming right now... Okay. Full disclosure, guys. Next video is already underway, but it's only going to be about... If I measured the script correctly, it's only going to be about 12 minutes long. And if all goes to plan, it shall be uploaded by next weekend, assuming I don't get too distracted with streams and whatnot. Script is ready, I just need to record and edit, and I'm probably going to record the lines as soon as I'm done with stream here, as a matter of fact. Just putting it out there. Mr. Coconuts really overstays his welcome this later season? Does he, though? Just a one episode? Like, it's... Okay, what other episodes in the season do we have that are about Mr. Coconuts? No. I really don't see a lot off the top of my head. Orchid Grief, no. Yeah, I really don't see a lot of Mr. Coconuts episodes, but you know what? We're only halfway through the listing, so... Okay, either I'm missing something, or this is the only Mr. Coconuts episode in Season 6, Oscar, so... I don't think it's that serious. The episode would have worked better if Mr. Coconuts was actually sabotaging the stuff instead of Luann unconsciously doing it, since the show loves to allude it being alive. I mean, that's more or less just meant to be a joke. Like, not meant to be taken too seriously. Like, it obviously, the puppet is not alive, guys. I mean, can I really... See, this is what happens when you incorporate one too many supernatural elements into a slice-of-life TV show. Like, anything goes. Time travel, aliens... You can't draw the line at a puppet coming to life, even though it was initially played for laughs. Okay, David, you do not need to keep repeating. I'll get to your comment. If you spam one more time, I'm timing you out. Yes, I know David farted in School of Shock. It's not that big of a deal, bro. Ugh. But alright. As far as the episode itself is concerned, though, I don't remember a lot about it. The messaging is a little flimsy, and the premise is just really... dull and uninspired, to say the least, so I kind of want to give it a high yikes or a low meh. What do you guys think? Yeah, can I just delete these messages? Seriously, guys, do not spam in my chat. But alright. Fashion no-show. First problem with it? could have just as easily been an episode of La Casa Grandes, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Lenny's visiting Carlota in Great Lakes, and apparently they're already friends, which I still don't believe. Like I said, most of the dynamics between the Louds and La Casa Grandes just really contrived and really unbelievable. And not in an insulting way, just in a way that doesn't make any sense. But alright. Lenny's better at fashion work compared to Carlota. Carlota tries to get rid of her, then she regrets it because her manager likes Lenny's work a lot better. Like, I don't know, it's predictable. It has, again, feels like an episode of a completely different TV show, more or less. And like I said, it's just trying to sell me on a dynamic that just isn't there. Just because Lenny and Carlota have some things in common, I don't really buy the fact that they're friends. Is it just me? Yeah, John, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what Ranma is. Abysmal? Yeah. For now, I'm gonna keep it in high abysmal, but that might change later. But alright. A bug strife. The whole family is gone to visit Aunt Ruth. Lynn Sr. pretends to be sick. He comes across, what was it, a fly? I forgot what kind of bug was. That just tells you how forgettable this whole season is, more or less. And then when he tries to get rid of it, he accidentally destroys part of the house. All these typical, it like tries to be some sort of Tom and Jerry, but instead of a cat and a mouse, it's a person and a bug. But I honestly don't remember a lot about this episode. And what does that say about the comedy? That it's not really that funny? All right, Power, thank you for stopping by. It was a cricket, right, not a fly. Like, I don't remember a lot about this episode, to be honest, so I'm just gonna place it in meh and leave it at that. Unless someone wants to dispute it. By all means, guys, I'm more than happy to hear it. High yikes, good premise, boring execution? Yeah, either a low meh or a high yikes. I'm gonna put it in high yikes. Alright. All the rage. All the rage. Kids are playing dodgeball, and then it turns out when Clyde is really pissed off for whatever reason, he becomes really good at dodgeball and kicks a lot of ass. So all of his friends go out of his way to provoke him indirectly just so they'll actually survive dodgeball, because for whatever reason Mr. Bullhoffner is subbing in as the PE teacher. They keep playing dodgeball every day against kids they don't stand a chance against normally. Like, I don't know. I like some of the ideas, and it's nice. It adds an interesting side of Clyde's personality that we don't see before. Like, yeah, we already know how meek, gentle, and understanding he tends to be most of the time. And to see something that genuinely provokes him, it feels a little contrived, to be honest. Like, the first time he gets pissed off, it's because my favorite contestant got disqualified from a TV show I liked. Like, that was really it. Then it turns out of nowhere, Clyde also hates littering. Clyde also hates that. Like, I don't know. I like some of the ideas. It's a memorable episode, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Lincoln and his friends just come off as a little dickish. Like, it's one thing to want to survive dodgeball, but going out of your way to piss off your friend, and almost getting him suspended, mind you. Like, they basically leave a bunch of litter in the schoolyard. Clyde sees it all. And then Clyde is going to go lash out at the principal, and then if that happens, the kids realize, no, whoa, shit, he might get suspended. We got to stop him. They fess up, and Clyde is just disappointed, but then at the end, Clyde gets pissed off anyways, and they still win the last dodgeball match. Like, I don't know, it's a memorable episode, but at the same time, also, let me show you guys something. I don't know if y'all remember this from my worst episodes video, but there was this one moment that is a real testament to the developers' showrunners' laziness. Let me see if I can find it, because I did talk about it in one of my videos. It's in the honorable mentions, and it's really brief, but let's see if I can find it. You, Chef Pat. Don't you forget about me. Do I parties? Regardless of...
For me, I can't
Here we go.
To the wrong actor. Rage. Well, you know the showrunners are on autopilot when they give a character's voice line to the wrong actor.
Clyde, can you get this itch for me? I can't reach.
Straight up, that is Zach's voice Jessica DC, whatever Zach is voiced by is Zach voiced by a girl? Or am I thinking of another character? Hold on. For some reason, Zach's voice is coming out of Liam's mouth. Like, that is definitely a huge oversight in the editing. Okay, I'm thinking of another character. Yeah, oh my goodness, bro. Like, that is such a glaring oversight in this episode, and it really makes you, how the hell did that get past post-production? Like, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous for a multi-million-dollar corporation named Nickelodeon. That is genuinely embarrassing and lazy. Like, good God, man. Like, I have straight up never seen that in an anime. Like, has there ever been a technical error that glaringly significant? I don't know, man. But it is a giant yikes. So yeah, I'm gonna place this episode in yikes or abysmal. But what do you guys think? This one is just so bad. Okay, David. Okay, David, I warned you. Don't forget that in this episode, it had the bad dub where... Yeah, Enigma, that's exactly what I was talking about. I kind of beat you to it, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention to chat. So yeah. It's either a low... Like, that's the thing. There's like, some of the lines made me laugh. Like, the first time Clyde's get angry. The first time Clyde gets angry, he's like, Manisha's cream puffs are dry. Like, at the very least, it's bad, but at the very least, I remember it. So, it's got a modicum of things going for it, but not enough to save this episode. So yeah, low yikes or abysmal. But alright. Cheer pressure. For some reason, the bus that carries all the sports teams can only fit so many people. So Lynn's basketball team and the cheerleaders make a bet to see who actually gets those spots. And for whatever reason, Lynn agrees to a cheer off, even though she has absolutely no experience with cheerleading. The episode tries to say, oh my gosh, cheerleaders work all season round. Basketball players only work one season. Cheerleaders are worthy of respect. Like, it's one thing when they're worthy of respect, but let's not pretend that they're the show stealers. Like, the real show stealers are always the athletes, the basketball players, the football players, whatever. Like, don't give it more credit than what it's deserved. And this episode definitely places the idea too much, and Lynn agrees to a bet. Like, it's nice to see Lynn embrace a certain optimistic and cheerful mentality, no pun intended, but at the same time, the bet made no sense. So, I don't know. I'm a little torn. It's either a low meh or a yikes for me, but what do you guys think? Meh episode, true and true. Kind of the same thing with AJ. Who's AJ, John? What do you think about Adventure Time? My favorite show? Horde Hit. I really haven't seen a lot of it. So, like, to my surprise, Adventure Time is that one popular animated show that somehow just keeps eluding my grasp. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a whole... Okay, I've seen a couple episodes, but that was like, what, 10 years ago when they first aired? Like, yeah, back in 2013. No, 2010, actually. How long? Oh my god. How old am I again? Yeah, I remember an episode where Ice King was getting married to a woman, and then it turns out the woman secretly was just brainwashed into being agreeable, and secretly she would rather die than marry the Ice King, something like that. I don't know, I don't remember a lot about it. But yeah, I've seen little to nothing about Adventure Time. I blame Coach Keck for misusing the money that caused the problem in the first place. I mean, yeah. Coach Keck, not a very memorable character, and the one time she's actually relevant to the plot. She's dislikable. She forces a really contrived premise. So, yeah. Kind of want to put it in yikes now, but nah. I think I'll stick by it for now. But alright. A stellar performance. 3 seasons later, more or less. Actually, no. There's Tales of Woe in Season 4, but 2.5 seasons later, and we actually give Stella some decent character development. Like, okay. She won the school science fair. She's competing at she's competing at the next level, but she has to give a speech at the beginning, and she's just never had the confidence. Just cause, well, if you take into account, though that's also a flashback of her just completely fumbling a speech back at her old school. But then, think about it for a moment. Like, why? Hold on, chat. Someone's knocking. I'll be right back. Guys, quick question. This normal voice that I'm speaking in, is it too loud? Cause that was my landlord again saying, the whole building can hear you. Like, are you dead ass? Like, this is a normal speaking voice, is it not? Like, straight up, the mic is, oh my god, whatever. Anyways. Where was I? Right, guys. A Stella performance. Nice character development for Stella. Interesting premise. And yeah, okay, Oscar, that is true. They don't necessarily win in the end, but this actually adds a lot more nuance than what the episode to Stella's character than what the episode presents. Because think about it. The day Lincoln met her, like, why was he the only one that approached her that day? Why was she sitting alone on the bus until Lincoln came up to her? Like, why did it happen to be him? Like, maybe Stella just didn't want anyone else sitting next to her. Maybe she was... Like, I don't know. There's certain implications that I really wish they would flesh out a little more as to why Stella lacks the confidence she does. Like, I don't know. It more or less adds up with how... It's more or less consistent with the day Lincoln met her, if you think about it. But anyways, as far as the episode itself, it's fine. Stella... All of her friends have certain methods for boosting Stella's confidence, and ultimately... She resorts to Zach's hypnosis, and then it goes wrong. Stella starts speaking all this alien gibberish as a result. Her experiment goes wrong. And then, at the end of the episode, Stella ultimately builds the confidence to give the speech, but she still doesn't win the science fair, which is fine. The only thing that really bothers me, to be honest, is just the process of her building the confidence. Not the hypnosis, just... the fact that they went with freaking Principal Ramirez to boost her confidence. Like, this anecdote of Principal Ramirez. Oh, I was nervous on my first day as a teacher. You don't have to be nervous here. Like, that just came out of left field. Like, if anyone should have boosted her confidence, it really should have been Lincoln, because we clearly saw how nervous Lincoln was the day he met Stella. Like, he went through a whole character arc, all this emotional turmoil, and then all of this genuine encouragement backed up by his sisters. It's all there. Like, if Lincoln was the one to boost her confidence, and if you were to talk about how nervous he was the day he met her, it honestly would have expanded on this character dynamic in such an incredible fashion. But no, for whatever reason, they went with freaking Principal Ramirez. It was so stupid. Like, that's the only thing. That's the only thing I don't like about this episode. But other than that, yeah, I'll give it a nice. Would I say it's my favorite episode from season 6? Maybe. Maybe. But alright. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Oh, y'all have been waiting for this one, haven't you? Y'all have been waiting for this one. Good God. Yeah, John, you were right. It was the landlord. Alright. The Taunting Hour. Pretty much what most people consider the worst episode of Season 6. It has some dull moments, but it's fine. Yeah, it's more or less acceptable. That's the one thing that just bothers me, like I said. Okay. Lynn, for whatever reason, that lady in the scooter, they call her Scoots, she just keeps picking on Lynn every time she's at a baseball game. As a result, was it a baseball game or a football game? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. As a result, Lynn gets distracted. She loses the game. And then Lincoln tells her that, hey, all of our siblings have critics. And then that boosts Lynn's confidence, but at the expense of the rest of the siblings, Lynn tells everyone, all of the siblings in question, that they have critics of their own. And then, now that the siblings are aware of said criticisms, they can't shake them off, and they all blame Lincoln for it as a result. Like, it straight up, it was a soccer match. For some reason, this episode is just allergic to making a clear distinction between a bully, a harasser, and a critic. A critic is someone who has a genuine opinion of you, negative or positive. A bully is just someone who's just being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole. That applies to Scoots, that applies to Chandler. But for the rest of them, like, it just doesn't make sense for most of the family members in question for them to let these ideas go to their heads. Like, yeah, Luna, the Burnt Bean manager, she doesn't like your music, but she still lets you perform. She still tolerates it in some capacity, so why is this bothering you? Lola, you have a judge that's really picky about what you do. But even then, it's kind of her job. She's a judge. Why are you letting it get to you that much? Like, a lot of the ideas just don't make any sense. And then by the end of the episode, Lincoln says, hey, I have a critic too. And again, not a critic, just a bully in the form of Chandler. Like, there's potential for a good message of not letting bullies go to your head, more or less, and to actually do something about it, but nah, it just fumbles it back completely. Like, basically the message of the episode is, shrug off the haters, don't listen to the bullies, don't do anything about the bullies. And yeah, if something is repetitive, which apparently is the case for some of the Loud siblings, you're allowed to criticize it. Like, I don't know, the messaging is flimsy, all the ideas in question are flimsy, everything about it is just flimsy. Yeah, I do want to... I can't think of any redeeming qualities for this episode off the top of my head, so yeah, I don't see a problem with going with the general consensus of placing it in abysmal. Would I say the worst episode of season 6? I don't know, we'll see. But alright guys, hopefully I'm speaking softly enough for my landlord's nitpicky ass standards, but anyways. Imagine if the younger audience uses the bad lessons the show can teach periodically in real life. Yeah, that's the one thing that bothers me. Like, when people tell me, oh, it's a kid's show, why are you making such a big deal out of this? Yeah, kids watch this. Kids are taking lessons from this show. And these are not good lessons every now and more often than not. These are not good lessons. So imagine how bad it is when kids take pointers from those lessons. But alright. Josie, who's Pixel Drink? Okay, I kind of want to look into it now. Hold on. When did this happen? Is this what you're talking about, Josie? Your viewers' YouTube channels? Okay, you're gonna have to tell me now. You're gonna have to weigh me in, Josie. But alright. Prize Fighter. Okay, so Lola is gonna win some sort of Lifetime Achievement Award. At least for pageant work. Okay, I'm getting a little too distracted. Josie, let me know as soon as possible which VOD that is. Okay, Lola is winning some sort of pageant Lifetime Achievement Award for pageantry. But then it turns out there's this superstition going around about how once you win the award, you're probably never going to win another pageant again. And apparently that really gets to Lola's head. Like, she strives to win the award at first, just for the sake of winning the award. But then when she finds out that the curse is just a load of bullshit, the superstition's just a load of bullshit, she's like, okay, I'm going to try to win the award anyways. But then she realizes, you know what? I don't deserve the award because the award is, like, apparently for good deeds and doing good deeds. and community service and whatnot. Like, I don't know, the premise just feels really redundant compared to an episode of season 4. Okay, Nitro, you're gonna have to tell me which VOD. I'm assuming it's the most recent one.
It might even lie.
Hold on. I'd like to believe it's the most recent one, but let's see. At 2:07.
But this is like in the middle.
Okay, that's not me.
Dumpy, you not here in chat. I don't know.
Okay, again, that's not me. Oh gosh, hold on.
Okay. The current state of the Loud House, 27,000 views. Oh, we got a cartoon review.
At the risk of sounding a little corny, I gotta say, guys. Okay, this is a reaction of a reaction to a reaction. All the time I've stuck my nose into animation as a culture, and if we're judging by video length, I've never had a series ignite so much genuine curiosity or passion in me like The Loud House has. For better or worse. Amidst all the stigmas, morbidities, awful writing and whatnot, I've never dealt with a TV show that just sparks so much to think about.
Oh, yeah.
Even at the...
Oh, yeah. I'm watching all 45 minutes of this later.
Oh.
This is my type shit. This is my...
Should I be flattered?
45-minute deep dive into some niche thing? Oh, yeah. Let me get that. Let me get that. ICC Bass, shout out to you. Everyone go follow ICC Bass.
Wow. Okay. Should I? Okay, I'm flattered.
Now we're getting better.
I'm kind of flattered. I mean, some of my takes are definitely controversial and hot, but
We're getting better. As I get down, the channels are getting better. Hold on. There's hope for humanity, guys. Help me.
is that all he's got to say? Okay. Okay. That's nice to hear, but I mean, he's gave me a shout out. I mean, he has like, oh my gosh, he almost has 1 million subs. Okay, you know what? I'm flattered. I will say that. I'm flattered. Thanks, guys. That's all I can really say, but I mean, what more can I say? But wow, okay, I just realized we reached 1,400. Apparently this was like what, yesterday? Hold on, let me see. Like I said, guys, I gotta lower my voice because landlord shenanigans. Yeah, this was streamed yesterday, apparently. Wow. Okay, how many subs am I at right now? I was at like 1395 when I checked this morning. But you know what? Thank you guys. Thank you guys for helping me reach more or less another milestone. But let's get back to what I do. Still, though, that's kind of crazy. Like, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. I had no idea who this was until recently. But alright. I think someone faked it and said they were you. Really? I only have like 1,400 subs and people already go out of the way to be... wait, what? How in the... Okay, hold on. I need all the context because that... Who the hell would want to impersonate me? Not to sound too self-deprecating, but who the hell would want to impersonate me? Genuine question. Hold on. What is...
Niche thing? Oh, yeah. Let me get that.
Wait, what is that mark next to the names? Probably probably some Chrome extension on his end.
Let me get that. ICC Bass, 40. Yeah. Oh, we. Hey. Yeah, no.
Okay, someone just posted a link to my channel, but who though? Who the hell is pretending to be me? Someone set me up for success? I guess you can interpret it that way, but who? Hold on. Yeah, whoever you are, yeah, whoever that was, that ain't me, dog. That ain't me. Okay, I should probably explain to that in his comments if I get the chance. But that'll have to wait. I mean, should I be complaining at the same time? I mean, I'm conflicted, guys. On one hand, I appreciate the publicity, but at the same time, who's pretending to be me? Like, I feel like they're just gonna... Whatever. I'll worry about it later. For now, let's just get back to what I do. Yeah, his viewers' channels, but I have no idea this guy existed. So whoever they are, yeah, that's whoever plugged my channel there, that's not me. You know what? I'm gonna tell him that right now. Hold on. I just need a good timestamp. Hold on.
ICC Bass.
I'm surprised you guys found this though. Like honestly. Okay, 207. What was it? 38? Yeah, 207:38. That's a good timestamp. I don't know who's plugging my channel here, but that ain't me, dog. I appreciate the you know what? Let me put it this way. I appreciate the publicity, but it wasn't me who plugged the channel here, bro. I think they wanted to help you out. Was it anonymous? Okay. You know what? I guess I guess I can appreciate that more or less in some capacity. So does it say like how does this guy's process work? Like people just link whatever channel they want, or does it specifically have to be their own? That's a bit of a, you know what? I'll worry about it later off stream. Totally forgot I was streaming today. Oh, yeah, Erica. I usually try to stream on weekends whenever I can. And if I don't, I usually explain why on my community posts. But at the very least, I'm only saying that because I got nothing better going on weekends, more or less. So I'm guessing it was one of his subscribers. That it doesn't have to be your own channel that you have to plug in. Or maybe there is, I don't know, guys. This is really bothering me. How does this whole process work? You know what? I'll look into it later, just for the sake of not diverting too much from what I'm doing. All right. Prize fighter. I have to wonder who it was, though. Like, by all means, guys, if you're the one who plugged me in, by all means, don't be afraid to fess up. I'm not going to hold it against you by any means, as long as I can trust that it was coming from an earnest place, more or less. But all right. You know what? Let's take a quick break. Just to make the transition a little smoother, let's take a quick break. I'll be right back, guys. Well, guys, as I've come to notice, apparently I'm a dime a dozen when it comes to this guy's shoutouts and whatnot. I mean, I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's definitely unprecedented. But you know what? I'll take it for what it's worth. But alright, guys. I noticed the highest tier was nice. Is this season really that cooked? Kinda, Erica. Kind of. Like, it's really... Oof. Like, look at this. We're only like, what, 9 episodes in, and half of them are either yikes or abysmal. And they really are bad. They really are bad, more or less. But alright. Prize Fighter. Like I said, a lot of the plot, it feels like a retread of Community to Service. Lola doing good deeds for the sake of getting what she wants, but then realizing she should do the good deeds for the sake of the people it helps. Like in Community to Service, she does that for the new student. Here, she only gets the award for actually performing community service, like helping at the retirement home and whatnot. So, the premise is redundant, like the messaging is redundant, at least for Lola's character and whatnot, so... But at the same time, it's not a problematic episode by any means, more or less. Like, in some capacities, it feels different enough, but I don't know, the resemblance is still a little uncanny, so I'm gonna give it a low meh. I don't know, what do you guys think? It was you who gave me that shout out, Mirko? Because I watched both of you wanted to help me out. Really, Mirko? Are you subscribed to my channel? I don't mean to look too much into it, but are you subscribed to my channel? Just out of genuine curiosity. Joined October 4th, 2025. Is there an alternate account I should know about? Like, I don't know, Mirko, you're a little sus right now. But thank you. Thank you. For whatever it might be worth, thank you for the shout out and whatnot. And the dono, the plugin, I don't know how to label this. That is a really weird way to work at it. Like just plugging in a channel, putting it on a Google Sheet just so a streamer will look at it. That's a really awkward process, but I appreciate whatever it might be worth. Heck yeah, more Mudkip ranting about bad episodes, more or less. But alright. Where was I? Right. Great Lakes Freakout. I'm a new subscriber because I watch Pixel Drink. Oh. Well, thank you, Josie. Alright. By the way, guys, I don't know if I've said this once throughout the entirety of the stream. Do me a favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I try to make a habit of saying that at least once every stream, and somehow I haven't done it once, even though we're like, what? An hour and a half in? Okay, an hour and 15 minutes. Did I get any new subs from it? Like I said, Nitro, I haven't checked the sub count since this morning. I was at like, I did get a couple. Like I want to say 5. I don't know, but thank you guys. Thank you guys anyways. Thank you for the support anyways. But all right, let's get to it. Great Lakes Freakout. Probably my least favorite Halloween special out of all of them. And that really says something because usually the Halloween nah, you know what? Nah, we haven't gotten to season 8 and there's another Halloween special there. But so far, this is my least favorite of the bunch, which just says a lot because last season's was really underwhelming in the form of Ghosted. But before that, they just really didn't miss with the Halloween specials. Jeers for Fears, T-Tail Heart, Tricked, Tricked, their first ever Halloween special, probably one of the best episodes period. Like, I really hate the fact that I didn't talk about it in my best episodes ranking, because I definitely overlooked it a little too much. But alright. Great Lakes Freakout, Lincoln and Lori visiting Ronnie Ann and Bobby in Great Lakes for Halloween. Then they're not gonna go trick-or-treating because apparently they want to decorate their market for like some sort of contest to be in a commercial or whatever, hosted by the superstitious fraud that almost ruined the Casa Grandes' lives. Like, why are we still friends with this asshole? Like, what was his name again? Ernesto Estrella. Like, this poser, he was like, oh, the whole town is cursed. Like, he is just the most glazed fraud I have ever seen in this franchise. Like, seriously, I don't know what the abuela sees in him, but I already dislike the person he was based off of, which was an actual person in not in Mexican media. I forgot his name, but I remember genuinely disliking him. And here, it's really no different. I do not like this character. He's just too flashy. Like, none of his plot lines are interesting. Like, I already dislike this character, and you're telling me, oh sure, let's decorate the whole supermarket just to impress him and hopefully win a commercial. Like, can we just stop? Also, the whole plot with the zombies, the whole, like, okay, they want to improve the market. They call in Lucy to drive all the way from, come in all the way from Royal Woods to help out. And then all the Casagrandes are like, oh, we're really nice to have you, Lucy. We're like, again, another instance where they try to sell me on the idea of the Louds and the Casagrandes being so buddy-buddy, but aside from, like I said, Lori and Bobby and Lincoln and Ronnie Ann respectively, I'm really not sold on the bond. I'm really not sold on the idea of the Louds being so tight with the Casagrandes. It just feels so forced, and when you think about it, okay, when did this episode air? Was it before or after the Casagrandes got canceled? Because if it was before, then it just emphasizes what I'm trying to say. And if not, then it's just bad timing. October 21st, 2022. When did this happen? It was also in 2022, right? February 18th. Okay, this aired after La Casa Grandes got canceled. But I guess when you consider the scheduling and the scheduling of production and whatnot, yeah, it's still going for that idea of, whoa, look how close we are with these guys. Please go watch our failing spinoff. Like, yeah, none of it makes sense. And then at the end, Abuela just conveniently has a zombie killing ingredient in her horchata, and the day is saved. Like, it's just so cluttered with its ideas. None of it makes any sense. None of it is interesting. Like, okay, yeah, easy abysmal. But what do you guys think? What's the best Halloween special of all of them? Like in this show or in general, Tracy? In this show, by far, it's Tricked. It's the first one. For whatever it might be worth, it was the one Savino was most involved with. I have a question? Shoot, Josie. The plot is just that, and then this happens? Yeah, basically. So yeah, easy abysmal. It's just boring, uninteresting. Like, you can just tell the writers, the creators and whatnot, they were just in it for... They were not in it for the artistic value of the episode. They were just in it... They just threw a bunch of... How do I word this? They threw a bunch of shit in a hat. They picked random shit out of a hat, and they pulled out all of it at once. What is this about? Are you complaining, or are you just talking about the show in general? Or, like, I'm making a tier list of all of the episodes of each season of The Loud House. And, well, when we get to each episode in question, I just talk about what happened, and yeah, I'm more or less under the assumption that the people watching have also seen the episode as well. Like I said, my channel is relatively niche in that regard. I will give Pixel that. My channel is relatively niche. I just talk about what I want, more or less. I talk about animation. Really just animation, and I do highlight reels of things that I play on stream. Like, I don't know. My channel is a mixed bag, more or less. Although in this context, it's not problematic. In a whole Halloween special of a slice of life show, yeah, this doesn't work. Yeah, easy abysmal. But alright. The Loath Boat. Time and again, how many times have I said that all the episodes about Lucy's Mortician Club are just bleh? And you know what? This one is no different, because look at the title card. If I didn't pay more attention than most people, I would not know this character's name for the life of me. His name is Bertram, by the way. He goes off on a cruise, and apparently everyone is so happy, everyone's getting sunlight, and we know how goths work. Apparently they hate both. But I thought we already established 2 seasons ago that it's okay for a goth to live normally every now and again. Like, enjoy the beach and whatnot. Like, it already contradicts the premise of a pre-established episode. Like the one where Lucy and the goth club went to the beach and whatnot. Like, it's a complete 180 for any semblance of character growth. Like, the premise is boring. I don't care about the characters. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a low yikes just because it's really got nothing of substance, more or less. Loud House's Prime was from seasons 1 through 3. Yeah, mostly seasons 1 through 3, and A little bit of 4. I was kind of afraid you were going to get mad, so I wanted an auto count to tell you that. Oh, Mirko. Oh, Mirko. Okay. Not to be too cynical, but okay, this account is from 2016. Okay. Yeah, okay. I can definitely believe. I can definitely believe it. Mirko, I mean, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me, and it seems like you meant well, so thank you. It's all good. It's all good. Thanks to my videos and streams, you've been watching more and more of The Loud House. Your tier lists are especially good because I can only watch the good episodes and the show is great to me. I mean, that pretty much goes for any show, right? You only want to watch the good episodes. There are some shows where there's hardly such a thing as a bad episode. Like I'd say Phineas and Ferb, really just those two, Phineas and Ferb and Gravity Falls. Those are the only 2 shows I can think of off the top of my head where I'm pretty much happy to watch any episode again, just because it's not problematic, except for one. Except for one in the case of Phineas and Ferb, which I'm actually making a video on, and if all things go to plan, I'll have it uploaded next week, just in time for the Halloween season, coincidentally. The episode has potential. I like the idea of Lucy helping a friend communicate with his parents. That is true. But the execution is boring, the ending sucks because Lucy does the job for him. That is true. Never mind the premise and the ideas of the plot. Like, when it comes to the emotional elements, it definitely fumbles the bag. It definitely fumbles the bag. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it in yikes. Alright. Small blunder. What was the... Right, okay, right, I remember now. Lily's going to show and tell. She gets a little jealous of what her friends bring, so she brings Lisa shrink ray, accidentally shrinks her whole class, and they actually accidentally put themselves in reach of a hamster, and it's genuinely dangerous because they're so tiny. Like, I don't know. It feels like typical cartoon shenanigans, more or less, so it's nice to see Lily have some semblance of character, at least at this point where they actually aged her up a little. But at the same, it's just an okay episode. Like, the hamster is cute, but the ideas are kind of silly. But it, not in any particularly insulting way. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it a meh and leave it at that. Yeah, everyone, episode was okay. Meh episode to me. Yeah, chat agrees, more or less. All right, time. Okay. I'll say a few things. I still enjoy this episode. I think it's got a lot of good ideas going for it. I can understand why people dislike it, but apparently a lot of people dislike it. Like, some people would say it's their least favorite episode of the whole series. Like, that's how strongly some people feel about it. I will say this. More or less, I do stand by what I said in my best episodes video. I still consider this one of the best. It has a lot of good ideas going for it. But I will say, placing it at number 8 was definitely too generous. Like, okay, the Loud Kids are screwing around at home. They accidentally break a vase and they're afraid of being grounded. So, Lisa uses her time machine to go back and go to her parents' wedding and stop them from receiving the gift so that they never get grounded. Which is definitely questionable, because that will definitely provoke a lot of paradoxes that I think Lisa would not be okay with. And then, all of her siblings tag along. They give in to their impulses at the wedding, they screw around and ultimately ruin it. So, as a result, their parents are like, wow, I hate kids, we're never gonna have kids. They cause a paradox and they start disappearing from existence, so they have to go back and make things right. Like, by the time they make it back home, they realize their whole world has changed. They're in a timeline where they don't exist, so they have to build a time machine from scratch and they have to go back and fix things before they all start disappearing. Do you think there should be an episode without the Loud family? Most of the time. I think, haven't they tried that on more than one occasion? They have, and I don't know if it's just poorly written or it's just a bad idea fundamentally, but I would say no. I feel like every episode should involve at least 1 or 2 Loud siblings in a major capacity. Time Trap was the worst episode of the season in my opinion, since the Loud kids literally risked their own existence to avoid getting grounded, for complete accidents no less. Everyone was unlikable. Rita and Lynn Sr. are so stupid and kind of irritating. Not their alternate countless, the main ones. Rita and Lynn. I mean, it's not the fact that they broke the vase. It's the fact that they've broken it on more than one occasion. Like, how many times? Like, apparently the kids have broken the vase, like, at least, like, 3 times. And after the first time, they probably told them, hey, be careful with this thing. It was a wedding gift. And then after that, oh, you're grounded for breaking it. Again, they break it again. You're grounded for breaking it. You break it again. You're going to be grounded even harder this time. Like, you understand why the loud kids are afraid. But, yeah, the premise is a little flimsy. Like, Lisa going back in time to fix it alone is one thing, but why did all 10 of the other loud kids, why do they feel the need to tag along? Yeah, that definitely feels forced. Like, I don't know, the premise could have definitely been a little different to the point where it can be more compelling. Not gonna talk about it, Oscar? Really? It's a really fun episode, even with the sci-fi aspects. Like, the idea, it has, like I said, it has a lot of good ideas going for it. Seeing a timeline where the loud kids never existed. Seeing how it affects all of their friends and family. Their parents don't like children in general. They have a lot more money. They seem a lot more... How do I put this? They seem a lot more functional, more or less. At the very least, as adults. We see how Flip is different. We see that how Chunk is different. We see that Lincoln's friends are friends with Chandler of all people, and that gives some really thought-provoking implications. Like, if Lincoln never met Stella on the bus that day, apparently it would have been Chandler who would have sat with her that day. She would have been best friends with Chandler. Somehow like, there's a lot of potential. Like, I appreciate the messaging, but yeah, I can see where it falters here and there in terms of the plot holes. Like, I can see how it falters, more or less. Also, in the alternate timeline, Sam wouldn't be prominently focused on at all. Okay, it gets points for that. I'll give it that. The vase is put together with glue, hopes, and dreams with how many times it broke. Yeah. Like, yeah, I appreciate the message of not trying to cheat your way out of getting grounded. Like, for all you know, it might have some dire consequences. And also, it challenges the ideas, the identity of the Loud siblings as a whole, more or less. Like, y'all remember the credits? Chaos with 11 kids, that's the way it always is. Like, yeah, okay, sure. It's a big family with a lot of kids. It's gonna be messy more often than not, but at the same time, it's only a matter of time before it bites you in the butt, and this is it. This is one of those times. So yeah, got a couple things going for it, but I can understand why people dislike it. And like I said, placing it in my best episodes ranking, it might have been a little too generous, to say the least. Have to go, you'll be back? Or tomorrow? All right, John. If not until tomorrow, then thank you for stopping by. But all right, Night Fury, let's see what you got to say. They ruined their parents' wedding with their own antics. I mean, there's a lot of things that they've ruined with their own antics. Like, I guess Lisa just dragged them out in the hopes that they didn't screw with the timeline a little too much, but I guess she miscalculated? Like, I don't know. Like, how are you supposed to tell when you mess with the past too much? Like, okay, they ruined the wedding, their parents are upset, but in a couple... I guess Lisa was under the impression that... Okay, maybe young Lynn and Rita are gonna forget who these kids are, and maybe they're gonna move on with their lives more or less. But yeah, a lot of the behavior there is a little dickish. The premise could have definitely been written a little better, or a lot better, more or less. Like, ironically, the premise is the one thing I don't like about this episode, just because it falters a little too much. But yeah, it has good messaging, it has good ideas, visually, like artistically. Like, when they show up in the altered timeline, everything is like the whole world is just lacking in so much color. And honestly, that's a good art. That's good symbolism. Like, yeah, life without kids, without children in general, it's definitely a lot more bitter, more or less. Just imagine an episode with the kids traveling to the Mesozoic era, the age of dinosaurs. I mean, why would they ever want to do that? In the alternate timeline, Ronnie Ann and Bobby would be completely different and probably would have moved to Great Lake City sooner. Yeah. How would it have gone down for Ronnie Ann if she had never met Lincoln? Like, honestly. You know what? This whole alternate timeline idea, it's not too bad, but I don't know. I'm so torn. There's a lot of it that I like, but there's also a couple things that I really don't like, which is what people really don't like about it. So I'm gonna place it in low okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? You're just speaking, not saying anything wrong or disrespectful? I mean, Josie, that's more or less how I roll. Like, every now and again, I do rant, I do speak my mind, more or less, but it's not like I use any slurs, it's not like I say anything rude, more or less. I think Time Trap should have gotten the hour special instead of something like Schooled. I guess. Like, I don't think the pacing has too much of an issue. It's already got a half hour's worth of screen time. It's already a half-hour special. I just think it feels like the plot holes could have easily been patched, and some of the ideas could have been written a little better. Like, I understand the criticisms, more or less. But alright. Unless anyone else has something else to say, I think we can move on to the next episode. The reason the Loud Kids could have gone to the Age of Dinosaurs to essentially learn more about them for a special assignment that their respective schools are doing, I guess. But all of them? All 11 of them? Like, keep in mind, Lori goes to a golfing university. What would she have to... Like, why would she show any interest or concern with the Mesozoic era or dinosaurs? Oh, you're talking to Night Fury, Josie. I thought you were talking to me. My bad. But alright. They could have done plenty of better ideas for our time travel episode. I mean, just imagine, one of the kids has a history test and Lisa helps her siblings out by traveling back in time. I guess. But this definitely makes for a more compelling and overarching idea. Would they have not moved if the Louds didn't exist? I mean, no, Ronnie Ann probably would have. She probably still would have. Her mom probably still would have organized that visit to Great Lake City, even with Lincoln out of the picture. But maybe things would have played out a little differently. Who knows? I guess we'll never know for sure. But alright, next episode. We're done talking about this. You auto know better. Alana basically starts like a car repair business with Flip. Lana wants to do the job like in an ethical manner, but Flip is being too cheap. He's screwing all the customers over, but Lana's still getting paid and she really needs the money. Like, I don't know, it's just way too predictable. We know how much of an asshole Flip is. And then by the end of the episode, Lana owns up to her lies and Flip's manipulation. Like, I don't know. It's too predictable, but also it focuses on a character I really dislike in the form of Flip. So I'm gonna give it a high yikes. What do you guys think? Would that mean the pets not exist as well? Probably, Tracy. Definitely, actually. Like, I don't see any reason to think that this alternate timeline Lynn and Rita wouldn't have any kids. I respect that that's what brings Lana back to normal, seeing a large family with the car faltering. Yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, 2 parents and a pair of quintuplets. Like, I guess it would resonate with Lana in some ways. Like, at the very least, okay, that's really the one plot element I can actually appreciate. Everything else is either meh or just no. It's a Flip episode, instant bottom tier. Yeah, close. Close. But alright. Lana wanted a new bike with a sidecar for her and Hops, and it's, yeah. She only teams up with Flips because he has a garage for her idea. I mean, did she need the garage? You know what? Let me see if I can read a summary and work from there. Let's see. Lana riding her bike. After the two realize that the bike is not in the best shape, they discover a brand new bike on display. Lana, thinking she'll be cool if she rides it, she wants to buy it, but it discovers that it costs $300. Suddenly, one of Lana's classmates comes careening down the sidewalk on his bike and crashes. Lana decides to help him by fixing up his bike. Impressed by Lana's repair skills, decides to give her some of her allowance as a thank you. This causes Lana to get the idea of opening her own shop so she can help anyone. Lana opens up the shop in her house garage, and soon enough, she gets a line of customers, but because the other siblings share the garage, Lana's been... Okay, she did need the garage, more or less. So she was a little compromised, so... At the very least, Lana undergoes something of a compelling character arc, more or less. Like, she's compromised, more or less, and just seeing the large family struggle, I can understand why it resonates with her. So yeah, it's got a very few good ideas going for it, so maybe I can place it in low meh. I don't know, what do you guys think? Oh, the time travel episode? Does that mean the Louds are stronger than the movie Avengers? What do you mean, Aura? When I'm in a worst character competition in Mind of Open, is Flip and Sergio? Yeah. Oh my goodness, this franchise has a lot of really shoddy or forgettable characters, but Flip and Sergio definitely take the cake, narrowly beating Sam. But anyways, Double Trouble. Lola and Lana minding their own business at an ice cream parlor, and then there's like this whole twins competition where the winning pair gets like a lifetime supply of ice cream, and they're ahead of the competition more or less, but then Cheryl and Meryl show up and start upstaging them. So Lola and Lana sabotage them, they make them turn against each other, but then when Lola and Lana see how miserable Cheryl and Meryl are, they own up to their mistakes, they convince them to make up, and they let them win. Like, I don't know. Just, again, just predictable, more or less. Can't think, nothing bad, nothing wrong with it, but nothing good about it, nothing too good about it either. So, yeah, I'm gonna place it in low meh. But what do you guys think? Abysmal, also Carl sucks. Yeah, most of the time Carl does suck. The only time I can think of where I genuinely like him is just when his dynamic with Adelaide. Because, well, she actually humbles him, more or less. It's a little contrived here and there, but she humbles him. Makes for an interesting dynamic, and you know what? They're just... Like, when they're hanging out with each other, I just see a pair of innocent kids, and you know what? You can't go wrong with that. Just saying something that's in my opinion, I love small creators because when you're trying to give your opinion with a big creator, the creator's fans sometimes hate or just argue with you. Yeah, classic mob mentality, more or less. Like, when you're arguing with a big-name creator, chances are he's gonna get the most likes in the comment section, more or less, just because he has a lot more followers. Lola and Lana win the cup by the end? They do? Hold on. Ah, jeez. There is no way. Okay, I really don't remember how this episode ended, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. As Lana, Lola, Cheryl, and Meryl eat the Double Trouble, Scoots arrives saying she didn't get an invite despite having a twin. When Lola tells Scoots that Mopes is just a fake identity she created, Mopes suddenly arrive. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Meryl decided to pack up her things and leave town, blah blah blah. Doesn't seem like any... Okay, from what I remember, Cheryl and Meryl won, didn't they? I don't know. Yeah, why would they... Okay, yeah. Okay, one thing I really dislike in shows, it's when a character doesn't pay all of the consequences that are due when they're owed. So... yeah, I'm probably gonna place this in yikes. Probably. Unless someone wants to argue otherwise. But alright. When they stream like you and they're reading chat, also me, it's not that hard for them to notice you in the chat, and to be honest, it just makes me happy or like excited when you read my chat comment. I try, Josie. I try. I try to read every comment I can, more or less. But alright. The Orchid Grief. One of Clyde's dads has a really rare flower. Lincoln accidentally kills it, so they travel to like the jungles in Lake Michigan to find a replacement before his dad notices. And then they come across Clyde's other dad, who is after the same flower. They bring it, and then they can't save it, and then it turns out Clyde's dad really hated the flower anyways, and he hated how high maintenance it was. Like, it was a very valued gift from his husband, but apparently he really hated how high maintenance the flower was, and he was happy that they accidentally killed it. So, no, I can't think of anything wrong with the episode. Pixel Chat got too many spamming brain rock comments. Really? Is that how? Like I said, guys, I had no idea who this guy was until 20 minutes ago. So I really can't say anything. It's alright. I only remember 2 endings. The squirrel suit ending and that weird one where the parents decide for lying to J-pop, everyone has to wait. Okay, I gotta read that slowly. Otherwise, you're not gonna make any sense to me, Aura. Okay, Aura, I have no idea what you mean. The squirrel suit, that's from No Such Luck, but the other one, I have no idea what you're talking about. They did win, but the clause of the contest was that if there are any twins arguing or fighting, they were disqualified, and Lana and Lola used that to get them out and take their place. Is that how it went down? I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm overthinking an episode that really isn't worthy of my attention, more or less. Like Double Trouble, it's... Out of all the Lola and Lana episodes, ironic, it feels like one of the most forgettable. But anyways, Orchid Grief. Can't think of anything wrong with it, but it's nothing too exceptional either in terms of character development and whatnot. So I'm just gonna give it an okay and leave it at that. What do you guys think? Alright. Catastrophe. Is it just me, or I kind of hate it? I kind of hate it when an episode is basically just a pun. But then again, that goes for most of the titles in this series as a whole. The episode where they have to video chat with the grandpa, but they keep flaking. And yeah, oh, okay. Cover Girls. I forgot what it was called. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like I said, some conclusive consequences, guys, they're not meant to be taken too seriously. Pixel Drink is a cool guy. He doesn't like the brain drop and tells his chat to stop. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know, to be honest. It's nice to see other content creators, more or less, who actually do pay attention to what his followers are saying, more or less. Someone even leaked his home address as a threat and his... Why? Why would they... Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Okay, I don't want to get into these controversies, but the nerve of some people. But alright. Catastrophe. How did this go down again? Nana Gale's birthday. Clyde and his dads are unprepared. They grab all the stuff I straight up forgot. This episode is really forgettable, guys. More or less. I'm gonna need a refresh. Like, that goes for a lot of Season 6, because a lot of these episodes are either mediocre or just plain bad. Also, banned for having gay dads. To the surprise of no one. Let's see. The McBrides are holding a cat-themed party for their cats. Recently graduated from an academy for refined felines. As the celebrations continue, Harold gets a call from his mom, who informs him that it's her birthday today and is looking forward to the party he has planned for her. After they hang up, they they're completely unprepared. They can't get everything ready in time, so they use all the decorations from the cat party and they pretend they're for Gale. Like, I don't know. It makes them for characters that are so classy as the McBrides, this episode really makes them come off as incompetent, to say the least. And honestly, I don't remember enough about this episode. And honestly, Miss Bernardo as a cat, it was honestly kind of cringe. Like, I can't think of anything good about this episode, but I can think of a lot of bad stuff. So I'm gonna place it either in yikes or abysmal. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, honestly, I don't know. Overall, it's just cringe, more or less. It's either high meh or low okay. I think it's just a high yikes, more or less. Like, more so bad than good, but there's really nothing good about it either. All right, flip episode, easy abysmal, easiest abysmal of my career, bro. Easiest abysmal of my career. Like, okay, Flip really likes this girl from his past. She's coming to town. He wants to leave a good impression, so he turns to the Louds to give him a makeover. Then it all goes wrong because Flip can't control himself, but then it turns out his crush is just as disgusting and obnoxious as he is, secretly. How convenient. Like, can we really Can we please just stop encouraging this unapologetically gross behavior? Like, no. Easy bad. Next. What's the episode where Flip gets injured and the kids help him? I think it's called, like, House Flip? Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But alright. Pros, it's not a Luna and Sam episode. Cons, it's a Flip episode. Yikes for no... Like, guys, just because an episode has Luna and Sam, I'm not gonna place it in the lowest tier immediately. Like, Perfect Gig, I'm pretty sure I placed it in, like... I placed it in the... I think I placed it in the middle tier. I don't remember exactly where. But I'm pretty sure I did not place it in the lowest tier, but yeah. Anyways. Doom Service. The Louds gullibly sign up for a free vacation at the mall. Then it turns out the person behind it is the mayor's former assistant that Lenny got fired, so he wants revenge against all of the Louds, not just Lenny specifically, for whatever reason. All the service is crap, but then the Louds already signed all of the waivers and contracts, so they can't do anything about it. But then it turns out, conveniently by the end, turns out the bad guy's pet, you cannot legally own it in the state of Michigan or whatever, so they threaten to call the cops unless they give him a decent vacation. Like, I don't know. Yeah, to this day, I don't understand why YouTube doesn't have a dedicated music UI and system and whatnot. Like, yeah, it's a music playlist. Is there I wish there was a way to adjust it to say, hey, all of these videos, they're all music. Can you just play it consistently without interruptions? Like, maybe an ad here and there, but what more than that? What's more concerning is Really Loud House did the plot better with it being his brother, who loaned him money on the condition he uses it for good, and the Louds act like he's got it together. I guess, but even then, that wasn't a very... Like, the fact that he bribed Lincoln with the emerald, with the diamond or whatever the gem was. Like, okay, help me keep up appearances with my brother for a day, and I'll sell you this so you can give it to your girlfriend. And then, by the time, for some reason, like, Flip doesn't, like, he's supposed to impersonate his dad, like, for a day or two. And Flip, still a complete bum, doesn't even bother remembering the Loud sisters' names, and they have to go along with it to keep up appearances. Like, I don't know. No matter how you slice it, Flip is still a jackass. So, yeah, I don't think the Really Loud House did it much better, to be honest. The Lola Spogak, to be honest, John, I'm sorry, Oscar. Did I just call you John on accident? My bad. I am so sorry, Oscar. It's hard to... I'm not gonna lie, guys. Lowering my voice a little bit, it's definitely screwing with my concentration a little bit. YouTube is a small indie company. Cut them some slack. Nitro, shut up. Yeah, to be honest, man, I don't remember a lot about this episode. And what I do remember, I guess it exists. So I'm just gonna give it a meh and leave it at that. Like, I don't know. I do remember Catherine Mulligan. Like, Catherine Mulligan is for being a not so recurring character, she's genuinely memorable. Then again, what signature newscaster in a cartoon isn't? You got Chet You Betcha and the Fairly Odd Parents. You got Catherine Mulligan here. Like, I don't know. I can see the inspiration, and it's not problematic by any means. But anyways, I'm getting a little too distracted. Next, Present Danger. Lincoln's birthday. David Steele themed. Rusty didn't get a present for him, so in return, he set up a whole secret agent hunt and treated that as his present, while also stealing the present that Lincoln's dad was going to give him, which was another David Steele comic, because out of nowhere, apparently Lincoln's dad and his grandpa were also fans of David Steele growing up, which kind of came out of nowhere, because it's already established that Lincoln became a fan of David Steele on his own accord, and it didn't seem like his father was supportive of the idea in any way. So, a lot of the ideas are contrived, but for what it's supposed to ultimately represent, Lincoln's birthday, all of his friends going out of his way to make him happy on his day, they cosplay as villains, he gets presents, like, I don't know. It meets certain standards, but it definitely slips here and there, so I'm just gonna give it an okay, and leave it at that. I don't know, what do you guys think? The second of the best season, nothing wrong with it, aside from Lisa being there for no reason? I guess. Yeah, nothing inherently wrong with it, more or less. Although, I forgot what the guy's called, but some guy on YouTube, like if you look up worst Loud House episodes or whatever, I think someone ranked it at like the 8th worst episode because he hates the fact that it's not a half-hour special. He hates the fact that it's not... Like, I don't know. He said... Okay, what did he say exactly? I forgot his name, but I do remember him vividly, more or less. Oops. Not what I had in mind. Oh, look, there I am. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, take your time, Mads. I got nowhere else to be. Okay. Sound of Silence, Schooled. Yeah, he placed it at like number 6. Okay, what did he have to say exactly? Genuinely curious.
And to be fair, this is definitely the most competently written of all the episodes on this list. However, my problem with this episode is what it isn't. What you need to know about this episode is that it's Lincoln's 12th birthday. Yes, they're finally aging up their main character.
Uh-huh.
This is one of the few times where all of Lincoln's friends and Lincoln's family are all in one location. This should be an easy slam dunk. One problem right off the bat though. This is another one of those episodes that feels like it should have been a special, and that's only 11 minutes. The other problem is, despite being Lincoln's birthday, there is nothing special about this episode.
You can't hear it? Alright, hold on. Yeah, his voice is a little too quiet. Hold on, guys. I honestly expected it to be a little louder. Hold on.
And this is one of the few times where all of Lincoln's friends and Lincoln's family are all in one location. This should be an easy slam dunk. One problem right off the bat though. This is another one of those episodes that feels like it should have been a special.
Okay, I guess it is missing a little bit of grandeur, but I don't see how that's a problem, to be honest.
That's only 11 minutes. The other problem is, despite being Lincoln's birthday, there is nothing special about this episode. This is a bland, boring episode where Lincoln is trying to find his missing present.
Okay, that's a bit of an overstatement. Like the plot is still engaging. Like, it's nice to see Rusty not being a cocky jerk for a change. All of his sisters are there to commemorate the birthday. Okay, that is true. We never see him with the cake. We never see his family and his friends singing happy birthday. It definitely could have been a little more climactic, but worst episode, like top 10 worst episodes? When was this published? Just out of curiosity. 2023, not that, about 2 years ago.
That's it. The major...
So yeah, season 7 was all the way finished. Okay, it's missing a few good ideas, but top 10 worst episodes? Not even close, man.
Side characters are not important to this episode. Hell, most of the show's main characters aren't important to
But you know what? I should let him finish before I start talking.
this episode. I always envisioned a Lincoln birthday episode would be something similar to what Saving Royal Woods ended up being. And while Saving Royal Woods is a great episode, it should have been the Lincoln birthday episode.
Or why not both?
Instead, this episode is Lincoln mostly by himself. Hell, Lori doesn't even appear in this episode.
Because she has a reason to. I mean, is it really an uncommon practice for a sibling not to be at your birthday because they're away at college or live in another part of the world or whatever? I don't think so, but I don't know.
I mean, for the love
From
of
my
God,
experiences,
can someone
no.
explain to me why Flip, Scoots, and Chandler have more lines of dialogue in a Lincoln birthday episode than
I mean, 3 of the most dislikable characters in the whole series being put in their place? I don't know. I'm kind of down for that idea.
his own sisters or friends for that matter? Only Loud sisters that have any form of relevance to the episode is Lola, who just is there to complain, and Lisa, who only is there to give off a bunch of exposition that brings an already slow and boring story to a grinding halt. The rest of the plot of the episode doesn't even matter. It's a very by-the-numbers mystery, but it's once again Lincoln by himself. The rest of the Louds in the Loud house are not important. Hell, most of Lincoln's
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from, but again, not one of the worst episodes in the whole series. Definitely not number 6 or whatever. What is this, number 6? Yeah, 10, 8, 7. Yeah, 6th worst episode in the whole series? Even 2 years ago? Nah, that definitely doesn't apply. That is a hell of a stretch.
friends are
Like, yeah, it could have been a little more climactic. It definitely could have focused a little more on character dynamics and emotional moments, but nah, that's a reach.
even important to this episode. Oh, and Ronnie Ann being mentioned or even referenced? Don't make me laugh.
Yeah, the same could be said for the Really Loud House. But somehow, Ronnie Ann completely gone, but yet this same guy was glazing Sam just for behaving like for behaving so whatever. You know what? I don't want to get into this again, if I'm being honest. But alright. Yeah, I stand by what I said. It's an okay episode, more or less. Can they bring back Ace Savvy? Please. No more David Steele crap. And they're still pushing it in Season 9, by the way. We did get a David Steele episode in Season 9, and it was, by the numbers, forgettable. But alright. Lincoln by himself is actually great. That's a great thing. Yeah, I don't hate it. Like, the main reason for the Loud House's decline is because they forget Lincoln? Yeah. Yeah, at this point in time, it's nice to see an episode focused primarily around him, more or less. Like, he doesn't need to revolve around all the sisters, but yeah, there is a bit of wasted potential. Have I ever thought of making a Discord server, Jorge? A little bit, actually. But I don't know. If I were to post a Discord... hypothetically, if I had a Discord server ready and I posted the link, how many of you guys would click it and actively be involved in it? Like, actually talk to other viewers and whatnot. Like, I don't know. I feel like my channel is a little too small for it, but I have heavily considered it. Oh, please do. I wasn't there for the deflating of the Sam glaze. I'll consider it, Aura. It's been on my mind. Don't think I haven't even considered it. It's been on my mind. Is it better than the Twins birthday episode? Yeah, by a long shot, Tracy. Strife of the Party is definitely an awful episode. So I don't know what this guy... Even 2 years ago, when we only had up to Season 7, I don't know what this guy is on about with the... I completely understand his criticisms, but 6th worst episode in the whole series by Season 7? Not even close. But alright. Space Jammed. What was it? How did this go down again? Lenny's babysitting. Lisa goes to the moon for whatever reason, and then she gets stranded, and apparently the lesson is, remember to take your nap and listen. Like, I don't know. I don't remember a lot about this episode, guys, to be entirely honest. It's a very forgettable episode. Lisa is being stubborn for whatever reason. Like, I like her dynamic with Lenny, more or less, and it's nice seeing Lenny take the gentle babysitter approach, more or less. Like, Lenny definitely gives a earnest motherly vibe, more or less, when it comes to the Loud siblings, at least compared to Lori. Like, the nurturing motherly type. But, I don't know, it's a little flimsy in its execution here. Actually, very flimsy. Another Norwegian project that Lisa was working on. Yeah, apparently she has a whole-ass rocket in her bunker. Like, y'all already know how I feel about it when this show incorporates supernatural elements in a inappropriate, jarring, or excessive quantity. So, yeah, I'm not too crazy about it. It's either a low yikes or a high abysmal, but what do you guys think? Easy abysmal, it's so annoying. Yeah, Lisa's stubbornness, it definitely bothers me. But alright. Day of the Dad. Lori meets her future father-in-law? What's his name? Arturo? Bobby's dad, more or less. And then before making it to she's going to visit Bobby in Great Lake City. On the way, she comes across a guy. She gets in beef with him, accidentally pushes him into a puddle just to nab a cab from him because she's in a hurry. Then it turns out the guy she was messing with was Bobby's dad. So she disguises herself the entire time he's visiting. It all goes wrong. And then ultimately Lori owns up to her mistake and then reveals herself as the girl that screwed him over. I don't know. Yeah, typical amnesia plot. Lori borrows a device from Lisa to erase his memory. And then Bobby's dad is all, "Who are you people? I'm calling the police." Like, I don't know. Nothing. I feel like it could have been a little better for an idea, such as Lori meeting her boyfriend's parents. So it's either a meh or a yikes. I'm gonna say meh. I can't think of anything too wrong with it off the top of my head. Like, keep in mind, guys, when something is really wrong with an episode, I remember it. I remember it vividly. I avoid taking naps because I would wake up with a gnarly headache. Okay, Nitro, I'm assuming you're an adult or close. Like, yeah, for most legal adults and whatnot, yeah, naps are more or less a luxury, at least with my work schedule. But for a 5-year-old, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you gotta take your nap. You are physically you are way too small to be overworking yourself like this, more or less. But I don't know, you could apply typical cartoon logic. Like, I don't know, it's a really confusing idea, a really inconsistent idea as a whole. But anyways, I can't. Of all the things I would expect Lisa to be afraid of, I did not think an optometrist would be one of those things, and I still stand by that. Like, the premise already makes no sense. Lisa's eyes are struggling even with her glasses. Her parents want to take her to a doctor, but then she takes all these measures to avoid the doctor as a whole. She gets lost in the mall, she gets lost behind flips until she realizes, okay, you know what, I've screwed around enough. Maybe I should just go to this doctor and get this over with. Then she realizes it was fine. Like, I don't know. As far as a plot for a kid show is concerned, like, SpongeBob did it better with the suds. Like, y'all remember? SpongeBob got sick. Patrick wants to tell him, no, the doctor is evil. You can't go. And then, when SpongeBob shows up to the doctor, he's immediately cured. He ends up really liking it. Like, I don't know. SpongeBob did it better. So, I'm gonna give it a low yikes. But what do you guys think? It sucks as an adult is when you need the most once limitless energy stat. Yeah. Like, there is definitely ways to mitigate your youth lingering away, more or less. Like working out, lifting weights, doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, getting sunlight. There are definitely ways to keep the energy going, but if obesity demographics are any indication, either here in Mexico or even in the United States, a lot of people don't follow them. Bad episode. Didn't Lisa give herself LASIK in the episode? Yeah, she was being really stupid. And not in a way you would expect out of her. And I don't mean that in a good way. So yeah, it's a really problematic episode. I'm this close to saying abysmal, but what do you guys think? Oh, Hans! You know what? Can I play that without getting copyrighted? I kind of want to watch it, just for the fun of it. You know, if I type in "Oh Hans" on the search bar, is it gonna give it to me immediately?
Treatment. Oh Hans.
Okay. Would I be ashamed in saying that? That actually got a laugh out of me. Like, I don't know, something about the hand gesture with boy. Like, I don't know. That is a timeless meme, if you ask me. Let me see.
Well, Mr. SquarePants, it seems you have the suds. Are you ready for your treatment?
And yeah, Patrick had it coming. Patrick definitely had it coming in that episode.
You're not gonna make me read old magazines, are you?
Why is that? Why is he so afraid of that? What's wrong with old magazines, man?
No, silly. You get the
Like, where did Patrick get that idea from?
sponge treatment. Oh Hans.
Like, I don't know. It's just a really cute segment. Hey, will the VOD get copyrighted? You know, I'm gonna pause very frequently just to hopefully circumvent the copyright detection.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Ah!
Okay, that's kind of gross, man. Just bathing another man while he's showering, like, what? Okay.
Tickles! I can smell again! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yeah!
Honestly, just the music and SpongeBob's voice lines here, they're what really sell it. They're what really sell it. Otherwise, it would be really weird.
I feel as good as new.
Like, I don't know. It's just really innocent and charming. Know what I mean? Like, you can't hate it. But alright. Let's see. That's Tom Kenny? Yeah, I figured. I saw the glasses, and it's not the first time they showed that visual of Tom Kenny in the shower. Like, if y'all remember that episode with Neptune? Like, he opened the clouds, and it was a guy showering? That was also Tom Kenny. Like, yeah, the real-life segments in classic SpongeBob, like, they're still really funny most of the time. You did not watch this one? Oscar, go watch it. Like, if y'all have a Paramount Plus subscription or access to, like, classic SpongeBob episodes, go watch them. Pure gold. Pure... would I say mindless comedy? Like, mindless comedy, but in all the right ways. Okay, Tails, we did not have to go to that extreme, my dude. It was a jarring Stewie episode where he's too much of a baby. Otherwise, he's a super scientist and an active aura. Interesting choice of words there. But alright. Don't escargot. Okay. Clyde apparently is on some sort of examination to go to a cooking school in France. Initially, his friends don't want him to go, and they hate the idea so much that they try to teach him. They try to show him that he can learn all that French cuisine here in Royal Woods, but those plans falter. So Lincoln and his friends try to sabotage his examination in the hopes that he fails and he stays in Royal Woods. Which, honestly, yeah, it's kind of dickish. Like, I don't know. Like, the start of the episode, I like a couple moments. Like, I don't know what to make of this. Like, I don't know. It's just another classic case of characters being too rude or too mean for their own good. Like, just like, I get that they feel compromised, but at the same time, their behavior is just rude. Like, just sabotaging Clyde's entire dinner and presentation. Like, can't you just convince Clyde to not go? Just because you value him too much as a friend? Like, I don't know. Like, it has the typical cartoon shenanigans, and for the most part, it's not bad. Like, okay, sabotaging one of Clyde's dishes that was meant for the teacher, but then it turns out that dish was for, like, Zach or whatever. Like, I don't know. I like those kinds of shenanigans, but at the same time, most of the episode is just too... It's just too mean-spirited, so... But it doesn't feel as egregious as the rest of these. So, I'm gonna leave it in a high yikes. Classic SpongeBob only has like 2 episode misses throughout the whole runtime. Yeah, seasons 1 through 3. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Okay, guys, by all means, weigh me in, because keep in mind, it's 3 seasons worth of episodes. I can't remember all of it. If y'all think there's a bad SpongeBob episode in seasons 1 through 3, let me know. I would really like to think about it. Can't use the other one? Yeah, or you never really can, regardless of context. Was there any Loud House seasons with 0 out-of-character moments? No. Season 1 has one of the boys. Season 2 has No Such Luck, Ellis for Love. Season 3, like, there's at least one bad episode in every season. Like, I'm not gonna deny that whatsoever. Brewster, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, I'm with Stupid. Oof. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. Yeah. Even for a mindless dumbass like Patrick, that was just too much. Did I hear Comic-Con will be allowing you to hang out with Stanley brought back to... Yeah, I did hear, and if they have permission from Stanley's estate, then I can't stop you, but if they don't, and even then, nah, what are we doing? That is so insulting. Nah. Wait, is it just called Atlantis Aura? Huh. Yeah, the one episode with a Neptune is just called Atlantis. Huh. Grandma's Kisses? Okay, Grandma's Kisses, I didn't hate it too much. Party Pooper Pants? Little bit. Great Snail Race? Nah, I think that one's fine. The Lost Episode? Yeah, okay, the Lost Episode for the most part is fine. It's just the citizens feeling entitled to SpongeBob's powers. Yeah, I definitely did not like that. Like, yeah, definitely an out-of-character moment. I know that music. Rest in peace, Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, Area Zero. Would I say this is the best theme in the whole game? Probably. Like, Area Zero, like, it was definitely an experience. Like, I don't know. The whole place, the music, like, it definitely made for a very climactic finale. Also, why are you saying rest in peace? Scarlet and Violet is still active. I guess things will change. Who knows when we're gonna get Gen 10 of Pokemon. But yeah, I am gonna miss it. At this point, Disney is the Lee estate. Who would have thought Jack Kirby's fight with Lee saved her from becoming a Disney prop? I guess. That's a shame, man. This is why I never... If I ever do make it big as like a content creator or in my prospects as a writer and whatnot, please do not let my soul belong to a mindless corporation. I will be very careful in reading all the any contracts that they should offer me and whatnot. Like, God, man, to have such a lasting legacy and to have it be exploited like that, what an insult. Okay, okay, that's fair. That's fair, Aura. The penny theme is pretty gas. The penny theme is actually really good. Like the whole dun 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 dun. It definitely has a really good tempo to it. Dun da 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 da. Seriously, guys, look if you play Pokemon, look at Penny's theme. Still fire, even all these years later. I just realized it's almost gonna be 3 years since Scarlet and Violet dropped. Holy crap! Like, I don't know how long have you guys been loyal to my channel, but I streamed Pokemon Violet day 1. You know what? Day 0, actually. I played it, it dropped like, what, November 22nd? I played it November 21st. Because I was just really looking forward to a Pokemon game on the Switch. Like, good God, man. And yeah, I do want to play Legend ZA the day it drops, by the way. So hopefully you guys will stick around for that. Oh wait, no, it's dropping on a Thursday, but I am going to play either Friday night or Saturday afternoon. We'll have to wait. We'll wait and see. More than likely Saturday afternoon, as usual. Hopefully I can finish these tier lists before the day comes. But you know what? We have 10 days. Today we do Season 6, tomorrow we do Season 7, and hopefully by next Sunday we'll do Season 8, and work from there. But alright. Hiccups and downs. Luna has a big gig, but she can't get rid of a case of the hiccups. Like, she tries really hard, she tries all these methods that these siblings offer her, and then Lisa creates a throat spray that actually cures the hiccups. But when they come back, the throat spray goes missing because she left it behind in Chunk's van. And then it turns out the hiccups actually make for a really catchy song. Like, I don't know. It feels like a typical episode of The Loud House where things go wrong and then things go right by the end of the episode for either convenient or just really simple reasons. Like, there's nothing emotional, there's nothing climactic or comedically memorable. Like, I don't know. It's a meh episode, more or less, but what do you guys think? Hello, Boot. Welcome to the stream. I'm tempted to replay X or Y, but what's the point? ZA is a new... Oh, that's the thing, though. I really do want to replay X or Y, but I lost my cartridge. I lost my 3DS cartridge a long time ago. I still have my 3DS, but I lost the cartridge, and I can't find it for the life of me. It's somewhere in this room, but I can't find it for the life of me. But I don't know. I definitely do want to play Legend ZA day 1 or day 2, whenever I get the chance, because I'm pretty sure the 17th is on a Thursday. No, it's on a Friday. Okay, maybe I can play it Friday night. We'll see. As soon as I get home from work. Assuming I have the stamina for it, but we'll see, guys. We'll see. This one is just a Luna torture episode. Yeah. It feels like the narrative is just making things inconvenient for the sake of making them inconvenient. Not to actually progress the characters or help them promote. It doesn't really do anything special, more or less. Have I heard of Plus channels? No, Citizen. I haven't. Okay, my guy, if you forgot the punctuation, you do not need to post it in another comment, my dude. Like, why do some people do that? Like, if I understand your message more or less, like, you don't need to finish it in another message. What would be the worst handheld main Pokemon game? I would say either Red and Blue, because they have really shown their age, or Diamond and Pearl because it is so freaking slow. Platinum tries to make up for the slow pacing, but Diamond and Pearl, once you play Platinum, or even BDSP for whatever it might be worth, definitely my least favorite remake, by the way. But Diamond and Pearl, they are just so slow paced. Like, it's a shame, because I have a lot of nostalgia for the Gen 4 games. And Diamond was the first Pokemon game I essentially played on my own accord. Like, Piplup was the first starter I chose without any peer pressure or any outside encouragement from my relatives or my friends. Like, I don't know. Like, Pokemon Diamond, it definitely holds a really significant place in my memory and my childhood. But if you make me play a Sinnoh game, I will choose Platinum any day of the week. Just because Diamond and Pearl is just so slow paced. So slow, to the point where it's almost unbearable. But alright. Scoop Snoop. Another episode of the Action News Team. Catherine Mulligan, for whatever reason, is hogging all of the stories that they're covering, and she's getting to them before they can. So, the kids want to investigate how she's getting this information, see if there's a rat somewhere in the school. And then it turns out the rat is Rusty's dad, because he is dating Catherine Mulligan, and apparently he's being accidentally gossiping about the stories to her without realizing that they're more or less confidential information. Like, I don't know. The coordination of the Action News Team, I liked it. It had a couple memorable moments. Like the moment where they try to snuff out Principal Ramirez as a rat, but then it turns out whatever she was hiding, turns out she and Catherine are just in a book club. Like, I don't know. It has a couple of ideas that make me uncomfortable and seem mean-spirited. But I can't think of anything too wrong with it. Like, I don't know. If anything, at this point, it feels like the Action News Team doesn't have enough episodes. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Favorite starter from each Pokemon generation? Okay. Gen 1. I like Bulbasaur, but in terms of the final design for the last evolution? Like, I don't know. I like Venusaur. But in terms of the best design out of all three of them, I'd probably go with Charizard. No. You know what? If I ever play a Gen 1 game again, I'm just picking Bulbasaur out of sentimentality. Just because I really like Bulbasaur's personality in the anime. Like, I don't know. He's that aloof, laid-back, chill kind of guy who knows when to get angry. He knows when to... Like, I don't know. He just doesn't take anyone's bullshit. Like, I don't know. Bulbasaur is definitely... Out of all of the Pokemon Ash had in Gen 1, he's definitely the most memorable. Like, I'm just a big fan of Ash's Bulbasaur. So yeah, Gen 1, Bulbasaur. Gen 2, Cyndaquil. Just cause nostalgia. Gen 3... Guys... Do I really have to answer that? Do I really have to answer what my favorite starter from Gen 3 is? Do I really have to spell it out loud for you guys? Do I really have to elaborate or explain who and why my favorite starter from Gen 3? Okay, y'all get the gist. I don't know. I was trying to make a joke out of it, but it didn't work. I don't know. Sometimes it's really, like, the improv is difficult. Improv is difficult for me, guys, but y'all know what I mean. Gen 3, Mudkip. It's not even close. I have big respect for Torchic and Blaziken, but it's always Mudkip. I don't care that he's quad weak to grass. I don't care how people make a, he's weak to grass because he needs to touch it. Like, nah, Mudkip is still goated. Still goated. All right, Gen 4. Obvious Piplup. Empoleon is my favorite. Like I've said before, guys, Empoleon is my favorite Pokemon ever. Y'all should have seen me when he got announced for Pokemon Unite. I just got him, I just unlocked him in Pokemon Unite, and as of now, I'm more or less an Empoleon one-trick in Pokemon Unite, because y'all have no idea how long I've been looking forward to this Mon in Pokemon Unite, because I used to play a lot of it, and I more or less still do in my off time. But alright, Gen 5, Oshawott, like Snivy just really, like, I don't know. Like, y'all will come to notice that I really have a soft spot for a lot of water starters for whatever reason. Like in Gen 5, Tepig, too slow. Snivy, really fast, but really lacking in offenses, especially without its hidden ability, which you're never going to get in a mainline game. So, Oshawott is just the perfect in-between. Not too fast, but not too slow, good offenses, and also I really like Samurott and Oshawott's design, even if Oshawott almost feels like a rehash of Piplup, in terms of the appearance and his demeanor. Especially in the anime. Like, there's even... I will say, though, I will give credit to the anime for putting Dawn's Piplup and Ash's Oshawott at odds with each other. I will say that. But anyways, Gen 6, still Froakie. Delphox is too slow. I don't like the design. I will say, though, I am down for Mega Delphox, which did get announced recently. Chestnut, I hate the design. The Mega Evolution design is kind of mid. I don't like Grass Fighting. It's such a like, Grass and Fighting is such a really awkward typing. You're quad weak to Flying, which is a very common typing. Like, I don't like Chestnut's design as a whole. He's really slow. The only thing he's got going for him is a solid defense stat and a signature Protect. But I'm not too crazy about Chestnut. I guess Greninja by default, and it is who I chose back in the day. Like, back when X and Y first dropped, I was like 15. I really like Greninja. I was a big fan of like ninjas in general, or just a cool concept. Like, y'all should have seen me when Greninja got announced for Smash, like back in 2014. Like, I was a big fan. I really liked it. But alright. Gen 7. Poplio. Because, duh, Water Starter, big fan of Primarina. I like the whole majestic design. Water Fairy's a really good typing. Decidueye, even for having such good offenses, really slow. Incineroar is even slower. Primarina, she's slow, but at the very least she makes up for good offenses and a good mixed typing. Like, I know a lot of people are more of a fan of Incineroar, but I don't know. Primarina just has a soft spot in my heart because at the time Sun and Moon dropped, I played Fire Emblem Fates recently, and Primarina really reminded me of Azura. So I named mine Azura, I got attached, and yeah, I really like Poplio's stuff. Like, people hated Poplio when he first got announced because he looks like a clown. He looks like a seal wearing clown makeup, and honestly, I never saw it that way. I just saw him as an innocent performer, and seeing him evolve into a beautiful mermaid, like, it's basically Feebas all over again. Really ugly at first, intentionally ugly, and then just evolves into this majestic creature. And you know what? I dig that trope more or less. The whole don't judge by appearances and whatnot. Pixel Drink streaming right now? Okay, Josie, unless he's mentioning me and whatnot, I don't see a point. I'm streaming myself. I'm not gonna pause my whole stream just to check out his for more than a couple minutes. Yeah, Incineroar with his hidden ability is really broken and competitive, and well, I'd say that's the reason he's grown relevant, even long after his generation ended. Like, not because people actually liked Incineroar, like in their main playthroughs. It's not like they have a lot of sentimentality, just because of the memes. I feel like that's most of the people. Incineroar owes most of its clout to the memes. That's all I can really say. But alright, Gen 8, I actually never played Gen 8. Because back in 2019, I was in college, and I was too broke to afford a Nintendo Switch, so I never got to play Sword and Shield. So, I can't really say I have a favorite starter because I never really picked one. But I guess if I had to choose, I would probably say... I just realized the music is a little too loud. I don't know. I guess I could just go the predictable route and just say Inteleon because Water Starter, but in terms of design, I want to say Rillaboom because it feels like a genuine natural progression and he doesn't look like a... Like, I don't know, Inteleon just gives me serious fuckboy vibes. Know what I mean? He just looks like too much of a poser. Like, I know he's based off James Bond and whatnot, but at the same time, he just looks way too like, he just does not give an imposing final starter vibes like the other water starters, or really the starters in general. Like, I want to give the medal to Rillaboom because, like, I don't know, I just really like the design. I just really wish he would ditch the drums. Like, I don't know. The just having the drums there for a prop standing in front of him all the time, it's a little distracting. It distracts from the design more or less. Yeah, it's versatile. It's tanky, it's got Intimidate, which is one of the best abilities ever. You still can't go wrong with it, even today. Even with counterplay to it, with like Define and whatnot, you still can't go wrong with Intimidate and Incineroar. But yeah, it owes most of its publicity to VGC and the memes. And also, fun fact, in regards to Smash Bros, originally it was meant to be Decidueye. Sakurai straight up said in an interview, originally it was meant to be Decidueye, but then they realized, yeah, Decidueye doesn't really work too well in a fighting game, so they just went with Incineroar. Although personally, I would have gone with Primarina, but that's just me. Inteleon sucks so hard. Rillaboom and Cinderace are great with their hidden abilities, while Inteleon is just PU fodder. Yeah. But honestly, guys, in terms of starter choices, I'm judging them based on how well they would do in a casual playthrough of the game they're from. That's really my biggest criteria for them. Like, I really don't care about competitive and whatnot, and I really don't care about... Okay, I will take memes into account more or less. But I don't know. I'm really just basing this on my personal attachment to the Mons and whatnot. But yeah, Gen 8, probably go Rillaboom. Grookey is cute. Thwackey is hideous. But Rillaboom is definitely definitely an upgrade. And Gen 9, originally, I went with Quaxley. because Quaxley, just the blue hair and the design in general, it just really reminded me of Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls. So originally I went with Quaxley, but I'm not a fan of Quaquaval. He is just way too fruity for my liking, so if I had to make another playthrough of Scarlet and Violet, I'd probably go with Skeletorge. He's slow, but he's tanky. His signature move is actually really good. And I would consider Meowscarada, but it's giving me one too many furry vibes. Meowscarada's too furry, Quaquaval is too fruity, and can't think of anything wrong with Skeletorge. Like, you would think his design makes him look like he's wearing clown makeup, but it's actually more or less a nod to Dia de Muertos, which I can respect. If only modders were more affordable, I want the ultimate Smash experience I imagined as a kid, I guess. How is Primarina gonna look sliding around on the battlefield in Smash? I mean, you could just make her... How do I explain this in a way that makes sense? You know what? Let me just show you. Like, do what they did with Lapras in Pokemon Unite. Let me just show you. Like, basically do what they did with Lapras, but just basically put... I don't know how to explain it. Basically put a flow of water.
The past
Make it so...
you had will shock you.
Oh my gosh, what are these? What the frick are these ads? Okay, so basically, make her so that she's basically sliding across the ground gracefully. Know what I mean? Like, I feel like that definitely would have worked for Primarina, but you know what? I'm not gonna fixate on what ifs. That's all I can. That's really the best way I can explain it. But alright, Gen 9 nowadays probably would be Fuecoco. His derpy design, Skeletorge is actually really fun to use. But anyways, I am getting way too sidetracked. Can we go back to the Loud House, please? They should make a Smash game, but just Pokemon. Brewstew, I believe that is called Pokken Tournament. No, I'm kidding. I know what you mean. Skeletorge is very Gen 1 coded, and I like that. I guess. Yeah, it's just a crocodile with a little bird, now that I think about it. But alright. Have water constantly at the bottom, like when Squirtle uses that water move of the... Yeah, more or less. Alright, Scoop Snoop. What did we say this episode was? Yeah, honestly, like I said, can't think of too many problems with it, but except for a few. So I'm just gonna place it in a low meh. Well, what do you guys think? Alright, the Loud Cloud. A good message about... Okay, here's how it went down. In a house of 11 kids, Rita leaves a lot of sticky notes on the fridge to manage all of her responsibilities of the day with all of her kids. She unintentionally forgets one with Lincoln, so Lincoln and Lisa improvise they basically make a whole app just so all of the family can manage their tasks and responsibilities a little more efficiently. But then they get too greedy with it, it starts backfiring it, and as a result, all of their technology starts turning against them, like basically a la Terminator. Like, wow, electrical appliances going rogue. Like, I don't know, you really did not need that idea here for this episode to be effective in its ideas, which it more or less was. Like, the whole idea of over-dependence on technology, it's a little common, but I'd say in this day and age it's more important than ever, especially in the era of AI. We're in an era where AI is so prevalent, so I want to give it an okay, but like I said in my best episodes video, guys, there's that one instance with Luna and Sam. Luna wrote a whole song for Sam, but apparently, and for whatever reason, a passionate performer like Luna botched it so hard that she needs the lyrics on hand. 2, she doesn't know the lyrics by heart. You wrote a whole song for your girlfriend. You're the most passionate performer in this whole show, and really in general, and they really fumbled the bag just for laughs? Like, nah. It feels like such a yet another insult to Luna's character, courtesy of more or less just Sam. So that really makes me want to demote it from an okay to a meh. But for now, we'll just keep it at a low okay. But alright. This episode is a high meh. Could have been good with the premise. Yeah, it's a good premise. Good execution for the most part, but it definitely misses the mark here and there. Yeah, I kind of want to place it in meh. You know what? We'll place it in the high meh. just for the sake of, I don't know, putting it in okay is a little too generous. There's a couple ideas I appreciate about it, and I've discussed them in my best episodes video, but it definitely misses the mark here and there. If it was good enough for Wallace and Gromit, it's good enough for the Louds? What do you mean? Say, Mr. Mudkip, how hard is the Modern Loud House Season 4 and onwards to watch? I don't know. Past Season 4? Like, I don't know. Like, y'all have seen me judge these, and y'all are still seeing me judge these episodes individually. Like, it really depends on the episode in question. Most of them are fine. I don't mind having them in the background, but... Like, I don't mind having them in the background while I'm working at my desk and whatnot. But when it's a really bad episode, as soon as I see the title card, I change the channel. So yeah. Like, anything in Abysmal, if I see the title card, I'm clicking away. That's all I can tell you. I still remember when you talked about this episode and you had the lava background and the thunder sound. Yeah. I thought it was I thought it made for nice theatrics, more or less. Just to convey my frustrations, more or less. Covering the overdependence on technology. I mean, okay, now that I think, how old is that? Wallace and Gromit. Episode, movie, aura? Like, I don't know. Wallace and Gromit, they got movies, they got shorts. Like, how old is that idea? Like, I want to say it's from, like, the 90s. So, it does undermine the message a little when it's that old. And, like I said, it's that common. But I don't know. Okay, food courting. Talked about this a bit in my worst episodes video. It's got a handful of problems. Okay, Lenny's coworker, crushing on a guy. Too nervous to so much as talk to him, so he gets Lenny to do it. And when Lenny tries to talk to him, even though she's glazing Miguel, even though she's glazing her friend, the guy just falls for her instead. And then, Lenny, even though she genuinely likes him, and she appreciates all his gestures, she just can't bring herself to do it for the sake of not breaking her friend's heart, or hurting his feelings, or disrespecting him, more or less. But, guys, 90% of this episode's problems would be solved if Lenny had just asked Gavin, "Are you into guys? My friend really likes you." And apparently the answer, he never said it out loud, but it's clear enough that the answer is no. Like, when Gavin said, "Miguel is great, but I like you, Lenny," like, people like to interpret it as, "Oh, Gavin is bisexual." Like, cut the shit. Cut the crap, man. He's just letting him down easy. I gotta go. Have a good night. All right, Bruce, too. Thanks for stopping by. Like, I don't know. A lot of... Like, it tries to build a good dynamic between Lenny and Gavin, but at the same time, it comes at the expense of ideas that never needed to be there in the first place. So... I don't know. And also, there's also the fact that Lenny and Gavin broke up off screen. Gavin still got minimal screen time after this. Like, if this is what we're doing with Gavin, then why even bother? So I'm just gonna place it in yikes and leave it at that. But what do you guys think? The last movie is a year old now, but how old is that? How old is the short or wherever it happened, where they actually focus on that idea? Oh, I'm guessing it was a year old. Oh, I'm guessing that's what you're referring to, Aura. This is making me want to brainstorm episode ideas that would iron out the character writings. Huh. I don't know. Let me know how it goes, Mirko. Let me know how that goes. Wow, guys, we are like about halfway into the season, and so far, we only have 2 episodes that are above average. Yikes. Have I heard of CC Trainer Ling's boot? Actually, I got some of my B-roll footage from my videos from some of his reviews because I couldn't find some of the episodes I was reviewing. I couldn't find the footage on Paramount Plus, so I just used his videos instead. In some instances, I didn't watch most of the video, and honestly, this guy talks for like a half hour. He spends like a half hour reviewing each episode, and I don't know how, guys. Most of the time, these episodes are like 10 minutes long, 9 minutes long. And the fact that he spends a half hour reviewing each episode, I don't know, that just feels excessive. Like, where is he? The Loud House? You know what? Let me just go with a random example. Trouble Brewing review. Like, yeah, the episode is 10 minutes long. Like, where is he? Like, I don't know. I've seen a couple. Is this him? I forgot. I don't know if it's him, but like, I don't know. There's a couple. Like, are these the same person? Like, they feel like they're running off the same style. Like, sometimes, yeah, 40 minutes just to talk about one episode. Like, I'm assuming this is him, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else, Boo. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think a 10-minute episode needs this much time out of your day. That's all I can really say, guys. But all right. Like, when I'm talking about Sam, it's like at the top I see. What, you mean him? You mean this guy? Like, I don't know, guys. These styles are way too similar to the point where I'm almost convinced these are the same person. Like, I don't know. I've gotten some of the my B-roll footage from them, but other than that, I really don't pay attention. Look at the channel? What about it? Oh, he's reviewing Friended. Okay, I can't look at the summer camp episodes because they have not aired in Mexico yet. Actually, in Mexico, we just got new episodes from Season 9, but they all aired while I was at work, so I haven't gotten the chance to watch them. So I wonder if I'll ever get the chance. Okay, still though, 15 minutes for a 10-minute episode, that's still a bit much. You know what? Let me see. You know what? Let me actually listen to these episodes for a change. Let's see. Let me listen to these videos for a change instead of just grabbing the footage. Like, seriously, guys. The way I find my B-roll footage sometimes is just... I download the video. Like, I scroll through the video, see if there's a clip that provides enough context for what I'm talking about. I download it, I cut it, and then I paste it. I put it into mine. But let's see. Give me a really short one for an episode I really like. Let's see what I can go with. You know what? Let's go with this one. Driving Miss Hazy.
When you create a helpful method for learning something, it may be a benefit to you, but a drawback to someone else.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This Abby makes me a little uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. You can just tell he got it from somewhere, but I don't know where.
Well, that's what Lincoln and Lenny found out in the episode I'm going to talk about today. So join me as I, Steam Team Read Up UK, CC Trainer Ling, bring you another retro...
That is a mouthful of a name, my dude.
...review from past seasons of The Loud House. Cue the intro.
Wait, John, YouTube... a Nintendo Switch has a YouTube app? Okay, my guy. Can we just... get to the review? You did not need that whole opening.
Today's episode...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The production value is a little... I mean, I'm not gonna talk like I got the best production value of my own on my own accord, but 30 seconds, a 30-second intro, and it's just frames of the Loud House with rock music and with guitar music in the back. I'm already detracted a little. I'm not gonna lie.
Is Driving Ms. Hazy.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is, Boo. I knew it looked familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly where.
In this episode, Lincoln tries to help Lenny get her driver's license so that way he and his other sisters don't have to keep doing favors for Lori in exchange for rides. For the longest time, this used to be my favorite Lenny episode. It was both a good showcasing of her ditzy yet lovably innocent personality, and it showed one of her vulnerabilities, and a relatable one at that depending on who you are, which would be she can't drive to save her life. She couldn't even comprehend just the basics of driving a lawnmower, and that was made very clear when her younger siblings set up a car simulator in their attempt to help her get a driver's license. However, it turned out she was in fact
okay, he's just summarizing the plot, but
smart enough to figure out how a car works thanks to Lincoln teaching her in a manner she could easily understand.
Yeah, the intro is definitely really extra.
Words like go-go boot and white shoe when referring to a gas pedal and brake respectively. This odd method was a clever way of demonstrating that Lenny is not entirely empty-headed, and if pushed correctly can display a lot of intelligence and confidence in overcoming something both scary and maybe at one time impossible.
Okay, we are about halfway through the review and all he's done is summarize the plot.
Her siblings were very supportive in helping her, although they were mostly acting that way because they were growing fed up with having to do whatever Lori wanted them to do if it meant getting a car ride. This brings me to my only negative of the episode, which would be Lori. I'm not really annoyed with her taking advantage of the fact she was the only street legal sibling and using that fact to get what she wanted, since it plays right into the bossy and situation controlling character she is. What aggravated me the most was how she was willing to sabotage her own sister's attempt to become street legal just after she developed the skills and confidence to pass her upcoming test. As a result of making Lenny listen to a poor driving instructional audio tape while she slept, her sister ended up failing yet again, and it was all because Lori believed Lenny getting a license would lead to no one.
I mean, yeah, just because the plot acknowledges the fact that Lori was being a dick and Lenny could have gotten hurt, it doesn't make it any better. Like, self-awareness isn't everything. Like Lincoln says, "Are you crazy, woman? Lori could get hurt. Lenny could get hurt. Just from the sabotage. Like, are you crazy? She could get hurt. Never mind the fact that she fails her test. She could crash. She could get hurt. Like, how did Lori not realize that? Realistically, she should have. But anyways, as far as this review is concerned, I mean, did you really need to make do we really need reviews dedicated to every individual episode? Like, that's always something that bothers me. Like, unless it's like a really noteworthy episode that you got something to say about that hardly anyone else has, which is kind of my plan for my next video, by the way. Not a Loud House episode, by the way. Like, I don't know. This kind of content, like, I can tell it comes from a more or less earnest place, but at the same time, 5-minute video talking about a 10-minute episode. 5-minute video talking about a 10-minute episode. Like, at least he knows what he's talking about. He's being genuinely, like, the content comes from an earnest standpoint, but at the same time, the execution is a little flimsy. Like, do we really need a review for every single episode? Like, is this really what people are into? I don't know. Gotta pump out those views somehow. Yeah, that's the thing that's always bothered me about YouTube as a whole. Just making a video for the sake of the algorithm, for the sake of being consistent with content. Like, keep in mind, guys, in between my uploads, or at least my latest uploads, it's like months and months. Either because the videos are really long, they take a lot of work, or because it's something I'm genuinely inspired to make. Like, most of my videos, what I do, I don't pump them out for the sake of the algorithm or for the sake of having content. I pump them out because it's genuinely what I want to talk about. It's genuinely what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. Like, as corny as it might sound, I make these videos out of, well, genuine passion. Know what I mean? The Louds only had one car before Lori went to Fairway? Yeah. Can we have Subway Surfers footage in the top right? Yeah. It definitely gives that vibe of just something you put in the background for the sake of having it, and not something you generally want to listen to. Like, I don't know. Like, more power to him, but that's just not my thing. Just not really my style. But alright. Sleepstakes. Lana gets invited to a sleepover from a friend that we never even knew existed until now, which is genuinely feels like it came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. You'd think they would actually establish Lana's friend circle at some point. They've established Lori's, they've established Lenny's, they've established Luna's. Lori has her colleagues at the university, if you can even call them colleagues. Luna has her band, Lenny has her co-workers and her high school friends, Luann has her theater troupe, Lynn, her roller derby team, her best friend. It seems like everybody has an established friend group except for Lana until now. And the fact that it took 6 seasons is a little jarring, but anyways. Lana's too worried about going to the sleepover because she gets homesick too quickly. The siblings want to train her in that regard. And then when it's time for the sleepover, Lana's still feeling homesick. And then the usual cartoon shenanigans ensue. The siblings try to sneak in to help Lana feel better. They even disguise themselves as her mom because their mom can't make it. And ultimately, Lana realizes that, hey, maybe I'm not so homesick. Maybe it's actually fun because her friends actually help her go out of her way to make her feel better about it. Like, I don't know. Nothing too problematic, but nothing too exciting or emotionally thrilling either, more or less. And Lily? What do you mean, Tracy? What do you mean by Anne Lily? Alright, Snow Escape. Definitely one of those like, I don't know. It got a couple laughs out of me, but at the same time, it's the same problem with the Luann's April Fool's episodes. One of the Loud siblings is just being a dick for the sake of being a dick. Like, for some reason, it's a snowing day, it's a packing day as they call it. I don't even know what that means. And for some reason, Lynn gets a little too uppity with pelting snowballs to the whole family, or anyone who sets foot outside. Even though her whole family has to get to school on time, it's the last day before the holiday break. But for some reason, Lynn can't help it. She still tries to harass everyone with snowballs. Like, No. Just, again, just Lynn coming off as a dick for the sake of being a dick. It got a couple laughs out of me. Like the loud kids disguising themselves as a Christmas decoration. Like, I thought that was really cute. But other than that, nah, still one of the worst episodes. Feeling homesick at a sleepover is very valid. Yeah, I do understand Lana's turmoil. Just, the execution is a little flimsy, and Lana's behavior is a little frustrating. Like, can you get mom to stop by and give me a lasagna just to make me feel better? I'm sorry, guys, I can't take it. Like, even with all the training, you think Lana would actually be a little more bold. Like, as Lincoln calls her, Lincoln referred to her as Season 1 as the Queen of Risks. Like, can't you just interpret this as another risk? Like, I get that she's a little girl, I get that she's 7 years old, but some of her behavior here is a little out of character. But initially, I totally sympathize with her. Like, back when I was a kid, first time I had a sleepover with my best friend, I was definitely a little nervous, spending the night somewhere away from home. But eventually I did get used to it, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I still miss my best friend. It takes me back. But still, though, not a bad episode, but not a particularly good one. You know, I'm gonna place it in high meh. Not a low or a mid meh, just because I sympathize with Lana more or less. But alright. Okay, I'm gonna be real, guys. I remember absolutely nothing about this episode. Same goes for Haunted House Call. Is this the one where Lucy, where the Morticians Club wants to go to the frickin'... Can't afford tickets to CascaCon, so they start a business to raise money. Yeah, they start a whole dealing with ghosts business. Not a ghost hunting business, just dealing with ghosts kind of business. They start making money, but then one of the ghosts gets a little too... I straight up forgot how this episode went down, because it's just that forgettable. Raise money, blah, blah, blah. The furniture is mysteriously levitating. Ghost problem. The club holds a seance in an attempt to communicate with the ghost. The ghost appears. Now in a physical body, the ghost introduces herself and tells Mr. Grouse that he's staying in her former home and is ruining it with his tacky furniture. Lucy says that Lady Emily, that she's stuck in limbo, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they make a ghost dealing business. One of the ghosts gets a little too chaotic. How did this end again? The club arrives, but to their dismay, the ticket booths are closed. They're too late. Suddenly, a handyman exists in the building with a blah, blah, blah. Okay, they get a cool casket, but this is one of those episodes, guys, where I just can't help but to tell myself, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about a casket convention? Who gives a shit about Lucy and her Morticians Club? Okay, I give a shit about Lucy, but not her Morticians Club. Just a run-of-the-mill, forgettable episode, so I'm just going to place it in high yikes and call it a day. Oh, John, you're still here. They earn money to a con by exercising ghosts and then getting a prankster ghost to scare someone and then take the fall to make the last bit of money to go, and they don't make it anyways. Yeah, other than Lucy, the Morticians Club, yeah, the Morticians Club is just 2 pounds of meh. I straight up don't remember half of their names for the life of me. Like, I remember the creepy one that looks like Dr. Frankenstein and the girl with the braces and the parasol. But other than that, I really don't remember them for the life of me. But alright. So far, so good. The loud parents have a surprise for the kids, and if they can stay behaved, they're gonna get it. But then, they give into the usual impulses, they start screwing around and fighting with each other. And they accidentally wreck I forgot how this episode went, to be honest. Okay, they get the couch back by the... They accidentally sell the couch or whatever. They get the couch back by the end. But the couch is a mess. But then it turns out the parents' surprise is that they're replacing the couch. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't remember a lot about this episode. Like, I remember the messaging. I remember the premise. I remember some of what went down. But the details... I'm drawing a blank with them. Maybe it's because I haven't seen the episode in a while, or maybe it's just that forgettable. Like at the end of the episode, the message is, hey, it's a big family. You're bound to screw up every now and again, but I don't think, ironically, And it's gonna sound crazy, but Time Trap did this better. Like, yeah, you're kids. There's a lot of you in the same household. You're gonna screw around, but that can backfire. And I think Time Trap did that idea a little better. Like, the kids actually own up to their mistakes. They own up to the fact that they have to get grounded for breaking the vase for like the 5th time. Here, it's basically the same idea, except it's a lot less interesting. So, I don't know. Right, Haiku. I totally forgot about Haiku, to be honest, Boot. Lucy's friend group should have been the group of kids that were in the episode where Rita was their teacher at school. When, yeah, the writing club. Do I think it should have been comprised of just Lucy's Morticians Club? I don't know. Like, I remember Haiku and Lucy being there, and then a bunch of 2 other kids whose names I don't remember. They were cleaning the house and left the couch outside, but Flip stole it and... Oh, gosh. Yeah, as if I didn't have enough reason to dislike Flip. Flip stole it and their other stuff and sold it to other people in Royal Woods. Okay, fuck, bro. Every time Flip is on screen, he is just being a genuine pain in the ass or just a really obnoxious character as a whole. Like, bro, fuck this character. Flip still gets the messed up couch after the family gets it. Yeah, and he goes unpunished. Okay, just for that alone. I'm placing it in yikes. Yeah, okay. I regret nothing. I regret nothing in that regard. Good God. Alright, save the last pants. Rusty's dad is away, and in the meantime, Rusty is in charge of taking care of his business while he's away for a couple minutes. And I will say, leaving your business in the hands of your 12-year-old son, that is a little irresponsible. And it shows because Rusty invites his friends over, they're screwing around at the business. Like, it's basically, it's basically a tuxedo store, more or less. They screw around, a pair of pants get ruined, go missing. Turns out the pants are for Mick Swagger, an international rock star. The pants are still ruined, but then by the end, Rusty tries to make the case that, hey, these messed up pants, they're a fashion statement. You should embrace them. Like, nah. Like, I don't hate the character of Rusty too much, but the resolution is, it just doesn't feel strong enough. Know what I mean? Like, Rusty with his reckless behavior, I believe it, but it's not a very memorable episode, and the resolution, it just doesn't make enough sense. So I'm gonna place this either in yikes or a low meh. I don't like how nearly every series needs a recurring con artist. Yeah, boo. And in this particular instance, it definitely still sucks. Like Flip, like Grunkle Stan, goated. Mr. Krabs, he has a few he has some baggage, but at the very least, he's funny. Flip, go fuck yourself. There is no redeeming qualities in this asshole, no matter how much they try. But alright. Bummer Camp. John, didn't you say you stopped watching after like season 4? Yeah. My dude, you're not gonna remember any of it. Alright. Bummer Camp. The Loud Kids go to Camp Mast. Okay, if y'all remember from that one episode from the previous season, Leonard Loud, Lynn Sr.'s dad, the Loud grandpa on their dad's side, he bought Camp Mastodon, so all the kids stop by for a visit and try to help him establish the camp more, establish the activities in the camp. But Leonard, he's more or less a retired fisherman, so fishing is all he's ever known, so of course he tries to incorporate it into the camp's activities. All the kids hate it, they talk him out of it. Like, the episode doesn't really go anywhere in a way that it's worth caring about. Like, yeah, sure. Like, the fishing stuff, it's not fun. It's bad for the camp. Okay. Leonard adopts a new mentality, but who gives a shit? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in man, leave it at that. He could have been there and helped. Okay. Rusty has to watch his dad shop, which is fine, but where the fuck is Rocky, as in Rusty's younger brother? Probably at home with their mom, I guess? Or maybe, I don't know, man. Yeah, where the hell is Rocky? Where the heck is Rusty's mom? Does he have a mom? Like, we honestly don't know. No, wait, no. Rusty is dating Catherine Mulligan, so either they're divorced, his mom passed away, we don't know. I'm guessing they're divorced, because otherwise, where the hell is Rocky? No way he's leaving an 8-year-old home alone. At least my parents wouldn't. Rocky got banished to Yeah, one thing I've noticed about the show, the moment there's good romantic implications, they just scrap it. Lincoln and Stella, or they just delete the character altogether. Lincoln and Stella, Clyde and Chloe, Lenny and Scott, Lucy and Rocky. It's okay episode, another episode. Okay, it sets up for the summer camp arc, but I don't know what to think about the summer camp arc because it hasn't aired here in Mexico. And for me to consider that a positive criteria, I don't know. So yeah, I think it's gonna stay in meh for me. Alright. Crown and Dirty. Isn't Myrtle's Rita's mom? We don't know the answer? No, I'm pretty sure. I'm assuming Rita's mom passed away of old age or some sort of illness, but no, Myrtle is not Rita's birth mother. We know that for sure. At the very least, it's implied clearly enough. Alright. Crown and Dirty. There's a mother-daughter pageant. Lola doesn't want her mom to compete with her because she's overbearing and she misses the mark. She's a little too overbearing when it comes to mother-child activities. So Lola tries to train her to her standards. Rita misses the mark, so Lola tries to get a different mom, quote unquote, to compete in the pageant with her. But then, when it's time for the pageant, Lola realizes that most of the contestants, they're just there to have fun with their moms. They're not there to win, they're not there to try. They're just there to have fun with their moms. Then Lola realizes, yeah, she should probably be doing the same. She shouldn't be in it for the glory in this particular context. She apologizes to her mom, she says sorry. They have that cute little tap dance, which is very memorable, so you know what, I'll give it points for that. Lola goes through good development, not the best, but not the worst either. And, well, Lola feels completely in character, more or less. Shallow, but she owns up to her mistakes when the time is right. So, I'm gonna give this an okay, but what do you guys think? I love Myrtle, I'll keep saying it, she's such a sweetie. Yeah, Myrtle's still fine. The show is allergic to good writing. Yeah, the show is allergic to the prospect of good writing nowadays. It's an okay episode. Oh, wait, I already read that. My bad. But alright, Crown and Daddy. Yeah. Lola just... Another instance where Lola just doesn't miss. I thought it was a good episode. It was very charming. It was very memorable. It has a good message. Like, sometimes, you shouldn't be in it for the glory.
Hey there.
What the hell is this app? I was about to say, what the hell is this music? But then I realized it's an ad. Thank you. Goodbye. But alright, guys. Pop the question. The loud grandpa, Pop, is gonna... Speaking of Myrtle, he's gonna propose to Myrtle. But then the loud kids unintentionally discover that Myrtle has had more than one identity throughout her lifespan. They believe she's some sort of shallow imposter that's basically gonna be a gold digger. Kill Pop when he's not looking and take all his money or whatever. But then it turns out the reason Myrtle has all of these fake IDs and whatnot is because she's a retired spy, which does play into a really significant event later in season 7. Okay, why am I keeping it a secret? We all know that this plays into No Time to Spy. And honestly, overall, it's a really charming episode. I can't think of anything wrong with it off the top of my head. It all makes sense. But at the same time, if it weren't for No Time to Spy, I would definitely dislike this episode. Just the idea of secret agents in a slice of life cartoon, it's just dumb. But at the very least, it plays into something. It plays into a good character development later, so... And honestly, just Pop and Myrtle's dynamic is really charming. And Myrtle's dynamic with the Louds as a whole. I don't hate it, so... I want to place this either in high okay, or maybe a low nice. What do you guys think? Isn't that a small detriment to Lola episodes when she tries to gain glory and realize that she shouldn't, and it's repeated over and over again? Okay, in this case, Enigma, it feels different enough, because it's not just about what she wants. She should have thought about what her mom wants. Like the circumstances are definitely presented a lot more differently than in Prize Fighter and whatnot. Like, the messaging is a tiny bit redundant, but it's different enough to where I can actually appreciate it for what it is. Because of, it's Lola's dynamic with her mom. She's doing it for someone in particular, not for her own ego or for her own conscience. She's doing it for her mom. a low nice? Yeah, why not? I'll place it in low nice. Ba-da, ba-da-ba. Can you guys hear the music well enough, by the way? I feel like it's a little too quiet, but that might just be my earbuds. That might just be on my end. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Alright. Musical chairs. Lincoln doesn't like his seat in class because he's still sitting next to a bully. So he tries to butter up Mr. Bullhoffner. He gets him a spot in his dad's band, in his cowbelling band. Or I don't even know what genre of music Lynn Sr.'s band is, but he gets him a spot in his band. But then turns out Mr. Bullhoffner really sucks at the drums. But the only reason Lynn Sr. and the dads are putting up with it is just to make Lincoln happy. But then Lincoln realizes, you know what? This isn't worth it. For my dad's sake, Mr. Bullhoffner, you're fired. But then after that, Lincoln still gets to keep his new seat after buttering up to Mr. Bullhoffner. Like, I don't know. It feels a little predictable, but at the same time, it's nice to see Lincoln with concern for his dad's well-being, more or less. It's nice to see that sense of empathy in him. Not for once, not for his sisters or for himself or for. It doesn't seem like he has ulterior motives, more or less. So, but at the same time, Bullhoffner's behavior in this episode, it's kind of obnoxious. Like, he's so strict, he's kind of a hard ass, but he's just too grumpy for comfort. More grumpy than usual for comfort. So, I want to place this in a mid-meh or maybe a yikes. What do you guys think? But alright. Crashed course. Lincoln and the family, they get Lori's report card in the mail. They see a bunch of 60s. They see all D's, so they're assuming she's failing. Because keep in mind, guys, in college, anything lower than a C is a flunking grade. You need a C or higher to pass the class. And apparently, so Lincoln and the family, they travel all the way to Fairway. They try to impersonate Lori and try to help her improve her golfing behind Lori's back. But then it turns out all those 60s she got, those were all golf scores, which is actually really good. So, turns out it was just a big misunderstanding. I don't know. It's nice to see the siblings look out for Lori in that capacity, but at the same time, the episode is kind of boring. Like just the classic putting two kids in a trench coat and pretending to be a grown-up or someone else. Like, I don't know, it's been done to death. Like, the episode's not really funny or memorable. Lincoln's still got the whole David Steele charade going on, and y'all already know how I feel about that. So, I'm just gonna place this in low meh. I did think that the Cowbell Festival in early episodes being called Cowbella was pretty funny. Yeah, Coachella, Cowbella. Yeah, that was from like what, season 2? My mom always taught me that anything 65 or lower grade-wise is a failure. Yeah. In elementary school, when I got a D, my parents still had to sign it. Anything lower than a C is just yikes. But yeah, most of the time, I was an A and B student. Yeah, a C was more or less unacceptable to me. But yeah, in college, you just take what you can get, just because everything is so overwhelming. Obviously, you want to do the best you can, but yeah, anything lower than a B was more or less unacceptable to me, but that's just my standard. All right. Dine and Bash. Lynn Sr. is away, the loud kids are in charge of the restaurant, and it just so happens Discount Gordon Ramsay, or a parody of Gordon Ramsay, is visiting the restaurant and leaving basically, y'all, have y'all seen Kitchen Nightmares? Like, it's an old Gordon Ramsay show from back in the day where he goes to failing restaurants. He visits this restaurant, he gives a review, and after he's gone, all the loud kids are worried that, oh no, he's gonna leave a negative review of Dad. It's gonna break his heart. So they go out of his way to snag the footage, sabotage or whatever. They fail in the end, but then it turns out Discount Gordon Ramsay, or whatever his name was, he had just positive things to say about Lynn's table. Like, he understands that while Lynn Sr. was gone, he understands why the restaurant struggled a bit in quality, because the owner was away and all of his kids had to take over. And the fact that they still did an above average job It melted his heart. He left a positive review. So, honestly, it's a very memorable episode. And at the same time, it showed a really, it's really heartfelt. Like all the kids going out of their way to support the family business, coming together, taking all these measures just to make sure their dad doesn't lose his morale for the family business. Like, I don't know. It's a really heartfelt episode. Kitchen Nightmares makes me stressed out. Boo, I get it. I know you're a chef. I get it. Like, yeah, a lot of the practices in that show, I don't know if it's just, I don't know if they're staged, but yeah, a lot of it just makes me so uncomfortable. But yeah, Kitchen Nightmares, it was a wild ride back in the day. A lot of Gordon Ramsay shows are. I will say though, back in the day, back in my high school days, I definitely did watch a lot of MasterChef with my dad. And it was a lot of fun. Like the first couple seasons, they were very memorable. But then, how long has that show been running for? All I know is that nowadays I'm not too interested because it's just the same thing every time. Go out to cook for a guys. Make a dish with this ingredient. Like, I don't know, it just got repetitive and more repetitive as time went on. The same reason I don't watch The Voice or American Idol anymore. It's just the same damn thing. But anyways, I digress. Dino Bash, I actually really enjoyed it. Very memorable episode, very heartfelt, so I'm gonna give it a nice. But I don't know, does anyone disagree? The episode was okay. Yeah, Todd does play a part, now that I think about it. I kind of remember that episode, but in my part, I finished at season 4, but I came back to see the rest of the season, see how it went well. But unfortunately, it didn't suit me at all. Yeah, that goes for most of season 6. Lenny, even if she didn't intentionally mean to, once again, got Lori almost expelled from her college. Yeah.
Hey there, it's Louis here from Past.
I thought I... Okay, I am so sick. I don't know what this ad is, but I hate it. I don't know what this ad is, but I hate it. Good riddance. I'm sorry about the shut up. I don't care. There's a reason I turn on ad block whenever I'm streaming, guys. And this is why. But alright. Snow Newsday. I doubt that was staged because of the stories my senior chefs have told me. Really? Like, yeah, apparently a lot of the restaurants featured in that show, they actually do exist. Like, if y'all have seen Kitchen Nightmares, y'all remember Amy's Baking Company? Yeah, that was really a thing. It's like in what, Arizona? Apparently it's got actual reviews, it's got actual publicity more or less. So yeah, by the looks of it, yeah, most if not all of it wasn't staged. But alright, Snow Newsday. The Action News team, they're under a bit of a dry spell when it comes to stories, and they accidentally discover an abominable snowman roaming around Royal Woods. It makes a big story, it makes them famous around town, but then it turns out the abominable snowman is just a lost sheep from Liam's farm. And honestly, that's a really cute twist, to be honest. Just a sheep that has been neglected from being sheared for a very long time, getting all cranky and turning into this monster. Like, I don't know, I thought it was a cute premise, and then they had to... But, okay, the one thing that bothers me, though, about this episode is they did not immediately retract the story and clarify that the monster was just a really disgruntled sheep. Like, they should have fessed up to it immediately. Like any dignified newscaster, like any dignified journalist, they should have owned up to it immediately. So yeah, half of the plot wouldn't exist if it weren't for an unrealistic mistake. So, but at the same time, it's got a couple things going for it. It did make me laugh a couple of times. And the twist is very memorable, so it's either a high meh or a low okay. I don't know, what do you guys think? Yeah, Amy's Baking Company, Jesus Christ. The fact that it's the one failing restaurant that Gordon Ramsay left and made a follow-up episode about, like, that just tells you how much it faltered in its quality. Is it still going? I wonder if it shut down in the past couple of years. I'm genuinely curious. What time is it, by the way? It's getting dark. It's 6:41. Okay, we started around 3:30. We've been at it for about 3 hours. You know, let's see if Wikipedia has any intel on it. Okay, this is just to talk about the episode. Many folks believe the restaurant was just a blah 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 blah. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna ask Twitter's AI. He might have the answer. Am I calling him a he? Amy's baking company still running. I'm genuinely curious. No, Amy's Baking Company is no longer running as a physical restaurant. The infamous Scottsdale, Arizona Bakery and Bistro, featured in Kitchen Nightmares, permanently closed its doors on September 1st, 2015. Okay, over 10 years ago. Owners Amy and Sammy sold the business due to issues like disputes with their landlord, blah, blah, blah. Okay, not because the restaurant was actually crap. Okay. Okay, it's been down for a while by the looks of it. Makes me want to shower for how bad some of those shops were on Kitchen Nightmares. Yeah. Just most of the food frozen, never fresh, a lot of health code violations. Like, ugh. I have not seen Kitchen Nightmares in a while, but I do remember that it made me very uncomfortable under several circumstances. But alright. Save Royal Woods. Half-hour special. Some greedy politician wants to demolish a dam and basically flood the town. But before then, she's gonna pay everyone to move. But of course, the Louds, all the citizens of Royal Woods, they come together, they refuse to move, and they try to convince the politician that their town is worth keeping around. Either some tourist site, some contribution to history. It's a musical. Like I've talked about this in my best episodes video. I thought for the most part it was really charming. It's got a couple problems with it. There's a few inconsistencies, but yeah, the roach shots Nitro. Oh my god. Every time they showed like pests of any kind, they just made it as graphic as humanly possible. But anyways, Save Royal Woods, not a bad episode by any means. Like yeah, the music is charming, it's not corny, it's actually relatively memorable. Like everyone's in character. It's like the final song, it's basically a tribute to the show's history. It misses the mark here and there, as I've said in my best episodes video, but it's still decent. So yeah, I'm gonna place it in nice. Why not? Like it definitely could it could have done some of the ideas a little better. But it's not a bad episode by any means. And also, the villain, they definitely do give you a reason to hate her. Not just her design, her intentions, or her goals. Like I said, it's just the fact that she looks like a hybrid of Hillary Clinton and Waluigi, and honestly, I just can't unsee it. I even made a joke about it. You know what? Let me show you guys again. Just for emphasis, and I may as well see what I said about the episode. Pretty sure I placed it at number 11 on my best episodes video, but let's see what I had to say. Value. I say building a note would be every character of the Let me raise the volume for myself a little bit. Loud House. My SurfSafe certification and my 4 years of being in the culinary industry through culinary school is extremely thinking about that. Yeah, I'm no expert on the restaurant business or industry, but yeah, I'd like to believe I'm a little too principled for me to let that slide. Like pests, all those head code violations. Like, okay, I will say this though. I took a home economics class in my senior year of high school, and I did have to take a state-mandated legal certification. I had to take a I had to take an exam and everything before I was legally allowed to set foot in a kitchen or work in a kitchen, in a school kitchen, more or less. Yeah, I had to take the exam. I had to know how to defrost a steak. I had to wear an apron all the time. I always had to wash my hands. Like, I was always very careful. And to see these grown-ass adults running whole-ass businesses disregard all that, it's genuinely insulting. But anyways, I digress.
This is my home, and I won't let you destroy it.
Save Royal Woods. Yeah, the double-length episode that gives every character an appearance and brings them all together in a meaningful capacity turned out fine. You can tell the narrative is trying a little too hard to stand out, but it's solid nonetheless. The town is chosen to be destroyed via flood to make way for a government project due to its lack of tourist attractions and, by extension, relevance. So, Lincoln rallies everyone into showing the town's value. I say, building a noteworthy tourist site. And here I thought Flip would finally contribute to a resolution meaningfully with the one thing he's respectably known for. Look at that. It actually doesn't make Flip seem like a
like a shallow asshole for the most part until the last couple of minutes.
But of course, even when the stakes are this high, he ruins it by being cheap.
Bruh.
I swear, this guy is basically just Mr. Krabs, except he's not funny. Normally, I'd add this to the reasons why I really don't like this character, but this screw-up amounts to a much better thing than a giant cup.
Like, at the very least, it's not the focus of the entire episode. Just Flip screw up. They immediately jump to, okay, let's get to another idea. Forget Flip.
After that failed idea, Lincoln gives the politician leading the destruction a tour of the town showcasing its historical significance by rapping?
Yeah, honestly, the Loud House doing rap in any capacity, that's just the mere thought of it is making me cringe, but they did it. They did it in a way that's not uncomfortable.
On paper, it sounds like a cringe fest waiting to happen, but all the songs in this episode are honestly not bad. Oh, did I mention it's a musical for some reason?
Okay, seriously though, this episode, did it really need to be a musical? I don't know, but it's fine.
Flip's song is energetically catchy, the tour rap surprisingly doesn't feel pretentious or corny, the villain song really makes you hate her, though it more so helps that she looks like the bastard child of Hillary Clinton and Waluigi, and oh god, I can't unsee it.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, all these months later, I'm still really proud of that edit. Play it again. Play it again. Hold on.
The villain song really makes you hate her, though it more so helps that she looks like the bastard child of Hillary Clinton and Waluigi, and oh god, I can't unsee it.
Seriously, fuck Hillary Clinton, and I already disliked Waluigi. But anyways. To be fair though, although Lincoln means well, he does make things a lot worse to the point that I'm surprised that Lincoln doesn't tell Joyce Crandall that he and his that is, my god, I holy shit, Night Fury, you're right. Lincoln and his family are descendants of Scottish royalty, nobility. And they did not bring that up whatsoever. Yeah, wait. When did this episode air? Hold on. It might have been... Hold on. When did this air? Because I know the movie aired in like 2021. This aired in 2022. Yeah, it's already established. Again. For some reason, the main series likes to pretend that the movie isn't canon for whatever reason. And it honestly really bothers me. Like, they just scrap whatever parts of canon are convenient, and it really bothers me. I guess it's because Netflix owns the rights to the movie, and they're not allowed to reference it, or they're just being lazy. I don't know, but that really would have saved the whole... Oh my gosh. Oh my... Night Fury, you just opened my eyes, man. Good God. Be careful when you use AI, unless you're specifically asking it to use its web search function. If it doesn't know what you're talking about, it'll make a convincing hallucination. Okay, in this particular context, Erica, it knew what it was saying. That's what you did for your culinary school for your prereq and an introduction to professional cooking class? Yeah. Take a sanitation exam. I vividly remember taking it. The former, I believe? Yep, I'm guessing Netflix still has the rights to it and they're not allowed to mention it, but that's still so annoying, man. Like, the hour-long specials always become a High School Musical episode. This one's a half hour long though, but yeah, okay, I guess. Mario is the most underrated character in his own series because everyone chooses any... Yeah, nobody plays Mario games for Mario. That's so crazy, man. Like, he's the center of it all, but nobody play... Like, the moment you can play a different character in a Mario game, you pick another character. Mario Party, I usually always go Yoshi or Rosalina. Mario Galaxy, as soon as you can unlock Luigi, you play Luigi. Mario Kart, you got so many options. Why would you go Mario of all things? Would the Scottish royalty even help unless they actually founded Royal Woods? I guess not, Enigma, but still though, it was worth trying. It was worth a try. I would have had the townsfolk become more hesitant, and by the time Lincoln comes up with the whole fake king idea and it fails, they just lose their temper and they tell Lincoln to stay out of it. I don't know. I mean, it's not like anyone else could come up with a better idea for convincing the politician. So I don't know. I love Boo. Yeah, fair boot. I mean, it's in the name. Why am I not to the surprise of absolutely no one? If I may quote the homeboy sophist, I am Boot for a reason. Yeah, no duh, Boot. No duh. But alright. You know what? But like I said, most of the episode is still really charming and memorable. So, a little sappy here and there. And like I said, some of the episode just focuses on the wrong ideas. And you know,
And the final song is a charming
let me just more or less quote what I said in my video.
record of everything the Loud family and everyone connected to them has shown to us over the years at that point, for better or worse. All while emphasizing that while the town might not mean much to most outsiders, it means a lot to the Louds, the other residents, and by extension, the fans of this series as a whole, leading to the villain's crew turning against her and the destruction being cancelled. A great example.
Yeah, like the whole Demolition Crew's guy are like, you know what? That kid is right. This town means a lot. This town means a lot to a lot of people, and you're just gonna take it down because you want a pay raise? Like, no, fuck you. I quit. Like, you know what? I get it.
Simplification of the saying, one man's junk is another man's treasure. It's charming, it's well paced.
Wait, seriously, Night Fury? Why was that never mentioned in canon? Oh my gosh, really? Okay, that is a very important detail that should not be left out. But I guess Netflix contract or whatever.
The stakes aren't contrived or excessive, unlike some other special occasions.
Yeah. For being a half-hour special, for like, I don't know, for being a half-hour special, none of the stakes feel contrived, or they just don't feel too outlandish. Like in Schooled, Lincoln's in another class because he forgot to sign up for the other one. That's just dumb. But here, a greedy politician wanted to demolish a dam. Okay, it makes sense. And when you think about it, Hey Arnold had a whole movie for it, and they still overdid it with the grandeur.
Hey, even a
Like, honestly, this kind of plot, I kind of would have liked it more than what we got with the actual Loud House movie, but that's just me, though.
show as respectable as Hey Arnold oversold it with the drama with this kind of plot. The sense of community brings the whole episode together, literally and metaphorically, and overall, it's simply one of the series' best. This would rank higher on the list, but there's just a few problems that really drag it down a bit, namely with the last song, Exhibit A.
Yeah, like I said, with the final song, for a number that's more or less supposed to be like a tribute to the show's 6 seasons worth of history, it definitely misses the mark here and there. And here are the examples.
Oh, don't get me wrong, this moment is adorable. Problem is, it's not actually in the episode, just the extended cut of the song.
Yep. You're never going to see that moment with Stella hugging her friends in the actual episode. You actually have to look at it. I don't know what is there's official means to look it up, but the extended cut of the song, you're pretty much going to have to look it up on you. You're going to have to basically the show is giving you homework. Homework that you didn't even know you had. Like, that just bothers me so much, especially with how much of a soft spot I have for Stella. That's just me, though.
What? The one line that can be appreciated with the minimal amount of
Okay, to be fair, Night Fury, breaking the dam is going to flood the town. The fish is still going to be fine, by the looks of it. But then again, you are altering the ecosystem, so okay, that doesn't add up either. But even then, though, it's easy to gloss over it. Like, I don't know, I'm a fan of continuity, but this is one of those times where it's not too egregious. Are we still reading the fan comics or not right now? John, I want to finish the tier list, and I want to read at least one chapter before the end of the stream. Just remind me.
context it gives, and it gets scrapped? It's honestly really aggravating how the writers keep screwing over Stella, but we'll get to that later. Exhibit B.
And John, we've talked about this before. Where did these handprints come from? Why couldn't you use the ones that were...
Bro, you couldn't use the handprints that were already canon?
You had these in season 1, and it was a very heartfelt moment, and for some reason, Lynn Sr. is not using them. He's using these random ones that just happen to be on the cement.
We're in the 6th season, and you just wasted a perfect callback to the first, dude.
Like I said, it's supposed to be a tribute to the show's history, and they missed the mark a little too egregiously.
Exhibit C. I thought I was done with this subject, but even more plot holes courtesy of Luna and Sam's abysmal relationship. Yeah.
And do I really want to get into this all over again?
Never mind the other half of your band.
Fish can die if the water is altered to a significant degree. Okay, yeah, they wouldn't make it, so never mind. So if anything, not only will the possibly protective wildlife die from the flooding, but also local fish populations would die from the shock. And yeah, the fish just had like... Okay, that is a glaring continuity error if I've ever seen one.
So much for moon goats making it big together. Their words, not...
Of course, They forget the important details, but the details that never existed, they just make them up on the spot. Namely, Luna and Sam's first gig, which we never saw beforehand, let alone an implication of it. Like, where's...
Yeah, never.
Okay, I expressed my grievances with this moment enough in this video, so I'm just gonna let Video Me do the talking.
Mind the other half of your band. So much for Moon Goats making it big together. Their words, not mine.
The Moon Goats were supposed to make it big together.
Gosh, even in the most trivial moments, the narrative is still giving Sam undeserved attention. Unless...
Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
They didn't...
Hold on, play that again. I was really proud of that edit.
Deserved attention. Unless...
Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
They didn't...
I'm sorry, the comedic timing, I'm really proud of that.
Start dating until after they formed the music club / band with Mazzy and Sully. We've seen Luna do gigs on her own, but with how vague and inconsistent this show's timeline is sometimes, the safest bet is to assume that these events happened before, since the club goes unmentioned there anyways. Unlike most of the history in the song, we never saw this gig happen at any point. So canonically, this should take place before the club was formed as well, just like those segments in the comics. Supported by the fact that they were confirmed to be...
Why was Brian wearing a hat? He owed Stewie some money, so he tried to disguise himself in the house. That's why Stewie was like, well, wait a minute, what the hell? Honestly, classic Family Guy is still really funny.
Close friends before dating. Apparently close enough to be doing gigs, just the two of them.
Yeah. Close enough as friends to be doing gigs before they formed their band, before they started dating, but somehow when their first date comes, they don't know anything about each other. Peak character development, Nickelodeon. Whatever it takes for the brownie points, right?
I can't believe I have to bring this up again. How do you still go a whole first date having nothing in common and knowing nothing about each other? Our expectations for you were low, but holy fuck. Did I really need more evidence that this is one of the most self-righteously soulless pairings out there, and how it's basically just a publicity tool? Okay,
I'm not gonna lie. The Garatina music, it conveys my anger perfectly in these moments. Like the Garatina music from Legend Arceus, it's still pretty fire.
I already have like a half hour's worth of that, and you're telling me there's more? You know what? No. I've said more than enough here, and this puppet has provoked enough negativity out of me. Just cue the memes and take me to the next entry. Please and thank you.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Okay. Hopefully that made my feelings clear enough, guys, because I've more or less have had this established since... When did I upload this? That was like early April. So yeah. That's all I can really say. Like, people think I'm making such a big deal out of Sam, but when you just think about it for a moment, it is so problematic in the narrative. Like, it's ridiculous, but not allowed to point that out without being labeled as a homophobe for whatever reason. Anyways. Alright. Stress for the part. Luann gets a big role lands a big role as a performer at Dairyland, thanks to Benny, mind you. But then she realizes her acting teacher, Miss Bernardo, wanted the same role, and she's worried that she's gonna get too jealous or get upset that Luann got it and she didn't. So she tries to keep it to herself, but eventually she's pushed into fessing up, otherwise she's gonna be late for an audition and whatnot, or performance rather. Like, I don't know. It has a couple of sweet moments between Luann and Benny. It definitely expands on their dynamic a little bit. And you know what? It's believable, because like, the ideas are believable, because we know how melodramatic and theatrical Miss Bernardo is, so I can understand why Luann would be afraid to hurt her feelings, or make her be under the impression that she outperformed her. So yeah, Luann is being a little too paranoid, but at the same time, it's believable, because there's no telling how Miss Bernardo would react, because we all know she's very theatrical and performative. So yeah, I'm gonna give this an okay. What do you guys think? Valid crash out, especially with how praised the ship is? Yeah. Like, honestly. Like, initially when I heard about Luna and Sam, like, I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And then, as I saw each and every episode, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. To this day, Sam still has no personality. You could cut Sam from this episode and it wouldn't make a difference. Like, you can just tell the writers were glazing her at every opportunity. And sorry, I just could not stand by that, of all things. There's a lot of things in the show that I can't stand by, but that definitely stood out. because they were treating it like it was actually something positive, just because representation or whatever. Like if y'all want to see a crash out on my end as far as Sam is concerned, go watch my worst episodes video, because I definitely do lash out there more or less, and even more in my most recent Loud House video. But all right. Straight relationships can be canned, but how dare you take away our representation? Like, yeah, the amount of people telling me, oh, they would never break up Luna and Sam. Oh, why would you suggest that? That is so divisive. Why? You want me to treat Luna and Sam like a normal couple? Then I'm gonna hold them to the same standards. Plain and simple. But anyways. Driver's Dread. Lincoln suggests... Okay. Lenny wants to visit Lori, but Lincoln and Lori suggest that maybe it's high time that Lenny finally gets her driver's license after, like, what, 5 seasons? And yeah, apparently Lenny did more or less preserve her talent for driving that she established in season 1. Her only problem is she just needed to rebuild the confidence. And you know what? When I was learning to drive, I've been there. I was there. Like, yeah, I know how to handle a wheel. I know how to brake and hit the gas with good timing. I know how to switch the stick and whatnot. It's just a matter of confidence. Like, you just have this impending fear that something is gonna go wrong, you're gonna crash. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, the fear of... Like, I don't know if there's a proper term for the fear of driving, but you know what? It's definitely very relatable, even for someone as ditzy as Lenny. So, you know what? Very believable premise. It's a good premise. The execute, then Lenny cheats her way into getting her driver's license by making Todd drive for her. But then when something... Okay, not Todd. I think it was just some sort of robot. And then when things go wrong with the robot, she has to take over. And then it turns out she can drive efficiently, just like any ordinary person. Like, she just needed the confidence. And you know what? It's good messaging, good character arc, good execution. So I want to place this in nice, guys. But what do you guys think? This is technically... Yeah, 5 seasons later, we got a sequel to Driving Miss Hazy. They even redid and redubbed the scene where she drove Vanzilla into the pool and said the same line. Yeah, you know what? That is a good callback. Yet they have Lenny break up multiple times and get into new relationships. How's that for divisive? That is true. Lenny and Gavin, gone. Lenny and... Okay, you know what? To be honest, guys, I never thought anything of Lenny and Chaz. Just another... In an episode filled with a bunch of romantic prospects, I just see it as another one. Like, if anything, Luna and Sam should have been treated the same way, but what do I know? But alright. Forks and Knives Out. Lynn Sr. gets invited to a cooking competition by Discount Gordon Ramsay, or whatever you want to call him. And then Lincoln joins him as a sous chef, but then it turns out their opponent is Abuela from the Abuela from the Casa Grandes and Ronnie Ann. Wow. What are the odds? Yeah, Lenny and Scott too. Just, okay, in that particular instance, Tracy, again, probably just another contract issue with Netflix, but it's still a detriment to the overall narrative. Yeah, Lenny deserves better, man. But anyways, wow, how convenient. You're competing with the character. You're involved with the character for really contrived reasons. You're involved with the characters from the spinoff. I mean, it could be a lot more egregious, but at the same time, it feels like you know what? At this point, the Casa Grandes was already canceled, so I can't really use the excuse of, wow, please go watch our spinoff. Look, here's our characters from the spinoff. Do you like these guys? Please go watch our spinoff. I can't use that excuse anymore. I can't play that card anymore at this point, fortunately. But at the same time, it feels really convenient that they just happen to be, out of all the chefs in the Michigan area, they just happen to be competing with someone they know. Like, I don't know, that feels a little forced, but at the same time, at the very least, it does sell me on the dynamic. Like, I was already sold on the dynamic between Lincoln and Ronnie Ann, but the dynamic between Lin Sr. and Abuela and their competitiveness as chefs? I don't know how I feel about it. Is it compelling enough? Like, I don't know. It's never really been explored before. It hardly gets explored now. It's basically, like, I don't know. You could replace Abuela and Ronnie Ann with anyone the Louds know, and it feels like nothing would change, more or less. I don't know. It's fine. I can't think of anything too wrong with it. Other than just Gordon Ramsay instigating beef between the two teams. And I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. If you didn't read my comment on Guy Grazer before, after the episode of Dine and Dash, they made the Gordon parody character a complete asshole. What? Where? Like, I don't know. Gordon Ramsay, like, if they're trying to imitate Gordon Ramsay's behavior, it definitely misses the mark. It definitely makes him seem like more of an asshole than he really is, at least outside of Hell's Kitchen. Like, in Kitchen Nightmares, you can tell his criticism is constructive. MasterChef? I mean, he's a judge. He kind of has to be critical. In Hell's Kitchen, I don't know if it's for show or because he's genuinely that temperamental, but it feels like it's mostly for show. Like, he cusses every now and again. He's a Scotsman. Like, it's not to be too stereotypical about it, but it's a common practice. Like, vulgarity and Scottish heritage, like, I don't know, they kind of go hand in hand here and there. Not to be too stereotypical about it. But anyways, stroke of luck. How did this go again? Lori pops off while golfing, but then it turns out she was using like some sort of experimental golf ball that always tracks the flagpole made by Lisa. And then Lori wants to own up to it's just a classic liar reveal cliche, to be honest, now that I think about it. So, yeah, nah, not a fan. Liar reveal, nothing to forget. Like, Lori wants to own up to the mistake, but then all of her colleagues are like, wow, Lori, you're so talented. You should definitely show them off. Like, nah. Gordon Ramsay know how to treat people according to their age. Yeah. In Hell's Kitchen, they're all more or less... all of the contestants, they more or less have restaurant experience from what I know. So yeah, the fact that they're slipping like so constantly, and especially upsetting so many customers, I sympathize with his anger. But in other shows, like in Kitchen Nightmares, MasterChef, like, he definitely behaves with people accordingly. Yeah, in MasterChef Junior or whatever, like, he definitely has the right behavior with the kids, and mad respect. Like, it could have been really easy for him to be critical of all the kids, but no. He's definitely lighthearted and gentle, the way any adult should be. like there's even memes about it. You know what? Let me show you guys. Gordon Ramsay with kids versus adults meme. Look, there's even a whole search suggestion. Like, with kids, he's like, oh dear, gorgeous. But with adults, he's like, you fucking donkey. Yeah. Yeah, I know he's a judge on Junior as well. Like, there's been whole memes about this guy. Anyways. Lights, camera. You know what? I'm going to play Stroke and Luck in Abysmal. Just because it's nothing original. It's nothing memorable. It's nothing funny. Like, it's just run-of-the-mill, below average, cliche. Like, nothing. There's really nothing I can think of off the top of my head that I actually like about this episode. So yeah, Abysmal. Lights, camera, nuclear reaction. Lincoln and Clyde. Filming another another James Bond inspired movie. Then it turns out Lisa's robot Todd is handling an actual nuclear reactor that can blow up the town just because Lisa wanted to get in character. Wanted Todd to get into character too much, so they actually have to stop him. Like, I don't know. The grandeur is excessive, the premise feels forced, and y'all already know how I feel about the whole David Steele, the whole spy gimmick. So it's either a low yikes or an abysmal, to be honest. I hope I'm not too late to ask, do you dislike the purple Luigi because you think he's annoying? Please answer respectfully. Yes, basically. He's annoying, he's overrated, he's obnoxious, and honestly, his existence feels like Wario being a clone of more or less a knockoff of Mario is its own thing, but Waluigi, he just feels like he was just made to give Wario a partner in the spin-offs. Not because it's an actual character that they intended to implement in any other capacity. And it shows. Like, has Waluigi ever set foot in a mainline Mario game? Because Wario, he was the main antagonist in Super Mario Land 2. Rosalina, introduced in Super Mario Galaxy as the mother of all the Lumas. Daisy, she was the damsel in distress in Super Mario Land. Waluigi, he was just there for the sake of the spin-offs. He's obnoxious, like his fans are annoying. Like, the amount of people that ask for him in Smash Bros. Also annoying. Like, he really doesn't I think the biggest reason I dislike him is because he's overrated. Blame Nintendo for that one? More or less. Alright. The Hurt Lockers. A lot of the lockers are being rearranged because of a sinkhole in the school. So Lincoln and his friends get the idea to share lockers, more or less. Then it turns out it's not as pleasant as the idea sounds on paper, and they realize that, hey, living with someone else, like, it's basically their take on the premise of being friends with someone is a lot. Like, living with someone, it definitely opens your perspective on the person, and it's basically the same idea, just that instead of sharing a room, you share a locker. And then they realize by the end, hey, we need to learn to compromise with each other. We need to learn to share our lockers appropriately. Like, I don't know. I like the messaging. I like the idea. It's a little flimsy here and there, but nothing too problematic and nothing too forced, more or less. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an okay. Yep, I think a low okay is acceptable, but what do you guys think? Waluigi fandom is so irritating. Yeah, just the wah. Like, Waluigi in general is just really irritating. I forgot what happened in the episode. Which episode, Nitro? But alright. He's also the father of a young son. What? Who? Gordon Ramsay? Yeah. He has like 2 daughters and a young son. Yeah. He's more or less talked about them, or shown them in his social media, more or less. If there's a sinkhole at the school, why the hell did they temporarily close the school until the sinkhole got filled? Because, yeah, for all you know, the sinkhole could expand a little more. Yeah, they should have. That is true. They really should have closed down this whole school. Even no matter how small the sinkhole is, no matter how shallow the pit is, someone could get hurt. Like, yeah, for safety reasons, they definitely should have closed down the whole school. So I guess the premise is a little forced, but at the same time, this is one of those instances where you can think to yourself, it's a cartoon. If someone gets, I don't know how better off to word this, but sometimes getting hurt in the typical cartoon shenanigans, it's not too problematic. And I'd say this is one of those instances. Like, I don't know, the premise is a little forced, but it's not too problematic, I would say. But yeah, realistically, they should have closed down the whole school. Because if someone gets hurt, it's on the principal's head. But alright, love stinks. Lana's taking care of a skunk. Lola hates it at first, but then Lola realizes, hey, the skunk is a little more than meets the eye. They basically become best friends, but then Lana says, hey, the skunk has to head back into the wild, but Lola doesn't want to give her up. She brings her to school, but then she realizes the skunk is a little too problematic. Not for her own comfort, but for the sake of everyone's comfort. But honestly, Lola's dynamic with the skunk, I think she named her Marie Antoinette. Like, I don't know. I thought the dynamic was really sweet. Like, the whole idea of Lola initially being disgusted and prejudiced toward the skunk, but then realizing, you know, you're not as bad as you look. You like a lot of the things I do. They both like oat milk. They both like looking good. Like, she likes being classy. Like, I don't know. It was a really cute and ironic contrast between Lola and the skunk. Like, it made for a really cute dynamic. It has a good message about letting the wild animal go, more or less, when the time is right. Like, I don't know. Can't think of a lot wrong with it. It's a Lola episode, more or less. Most of the time, they don't go wrong with it. I'm tempted to place it a nice, but if I'm being impartial, I'm probably placing it a high okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Everyone begging for Waluigi in Smash Ultimate bothered me so much, and that made me look back to the days of Smash Bros. Brawl. Boo. Yeah. Before Waluigi, there was Ridley, and before Ridley, it was... Actually, it's just those two. What is it with purple characters and having obnoxious fandoms in the Smash community? Genuinely. 715? Wow, okay. John? Yeah. Okay, we're just about done with the tier list. That was the last episode. Unless someone has something to say about Love Stinks, that is Season 6's tier list. Stroke of Luck? Oh, that's the one you mean, Nitro? Yeah. It's a very forgettable episode, and what I do remember, it's either a cliche or I just don't like it. Yeah. Easy abysmal. I regret nothing. To be honest, I'm not interested in politics at all. Okay, Ncorp? Not sure why are you bringing this up? I mean, was I talking about politics? Oh, it's because of the Hillary Clinton. Oh, it's because of the Hillary Clinton comparison. That's why. Still though. Like, I'm not one to stick my nose too much in American politics, but yeah, fuck Hillary Clinton. Like, to think that monster was that close to being our president. To think she, you know what? No, okay, I'm not gonna talk politics here. I got a lot of gripes with Hillary Clinton, but I'm not about to talk politics here. But alright, guys, that's our tier list for season 6. But like I said, guys, nothing in the rankings, little to nothing in the rankings feels like an above average Loud House episode. Like, I don't know, there's nice continuity and a lot of charms and a handful. Like, keep in mind, guys, there is like 40 something different storylines in this whole season, and there is only, I'd say about 10 of them. Nah, you know what? Let's say 8. Let's say about 8. Like, the first 2 in okay and everything in nice. They're the only ones I like without any gripes. You know what? Let's add Crown and Dirty to it. There is only like 9 storylines that I actually enjoy with little to no regrets, more or less. Can I do season 7 and 8? That's the plan, Tracy. More or less, if I'm not too busy tomorrow or just too burnt out, I might do season 7 tomorrow. I'll do season 8 next week. That's more or less what I've been doing every weekend. 1 tier list every stream, more or less. So with that being said, guys, that is my rankings of season 6. Lola may love the skunk, but she could have caused her friend a lot of stress due to being in an unfamiliar environment, i.e. the school. That is true, but I think this is one of those episodes where you can apply the cartoon logic of the animal being, well, not behaving like a normal animal, more or less. Like, you know, the cutesy animal sidekick that can actually pay attention or read the room or understand what Lola is saying. Like, I don't know, it's basically Disney logic, where the animal actually is aware of its surroundings and you don't have to worry about its biological necessities, more or less. Know what I mean? Do I think the Shucks should return? Who's Shuck? But alright, guys. I will say, a Stella performance. I got a soft spot for Stella, so yeah. Good episode, good episode, good episode, good episode. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said at some point in this stream? But alright, guys. Okay, do I want to share this on Twitter? You know what? I can't. Wait. I don't want you guys peeking at my Twitter. Okay, that is a really crummy format. You know what? Maybe at some point, but for now, I'll just leave it as is. For the time being, just rest. Maybe next time you could read the fan comic. Yeah, that's a good idea, John. I think Season 7 and Season 8, they can wait until next weekend. And tomorrow, guys... Although, if I'm being honest, guys, the reason I've been racking up a lot of views recently, at least on my streams, is because of the tier list. So... like, I don't know. I don't want to read the fan comic without making a tier list. Does that make any sense? Like, you know what? You're right, John. You're right. The tier list can wait until next week. For the rest of the stream and tomorrow, we're just going to finish the fanfiction. Because I feel like I've been holding it off for way too long, especially considering the fact that I only stream on weekends. So... Okay, Night Fury, I wasn't ending the stream just yet. Calm down, man. Wario had his own... That's true. Wario had his own games, Luigi had his own games, Yoshi had his own games. Although, to be fair, the first Yoshi's Island was a literal sequel to Super Mario World. Peach technically had her own games. Bowser is the villain. Yeah, Bowser is the villain. Waluigi, though, he's just... He's basically just filler. But yeah, guys. I don't know. If I'm in the mood for it tomorrow, we'll do the Season 7 tier list, but... I think for what's left of the stream today and tomorrow, we're gonna read we're gonna finish reading Companionship, because I've been holding it off on it for too long. But alright, guys. Let me download this, in case I want to make a tweet about it. And we'll work from there. But alright, guys. Okay. You know what? At this point, I think we're going to keep streaming until 8 o'clock, so I may as well take a break. I'll be right back, guys. Also, I'm really hungry, so I'm going to go get a snack. come to think of it, guys, yeah, I keep forgetting the fact that it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast. So, and you know what? I want to have most of you guys around for the most part. So yeah, I think tomorrow, if I'm in the mood for the tier list, we'll make season 7's tier list. But tomorrow, for the most part, I hopefully finish reading Companionship, or at the very least read a couple chapters. But yeah, for now, I think it's a good enough time to end the stream. Just cause, yeah, it's 7:30, it's Saturday, I want to enjoy the rest of the night, and for most of you, you're probably going to bed or you're really tired. I don't blame y'all, and I want to have most of you around for the stream. So yeah, for now, we're gonna call it there. I should be back tomorrow afternoon at the usual time. But with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Did I read the sequel, Parenthood? Night Fury, I did, but at the same time, it is very lewd and inappropriate. I'm not reading that on stream. Not even the T-rated version. It is very inappropriate for stream, and a lot of it feels out of character. It's a couple things I like, but I digress. The only one we're gonna read on stream is Companionship. There's a fan comic called The All, created by Cams. He or she creates certain fan comics in the Loud House. For me, it's my favorite. Maybe I'll look into it, John. For now, I just want to finish reading what I got. So tomorrow, guys, possibly Season 7's tier list, but also we'll keep reading Companionship. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. As always, if your heart so desires, hit that like button and subscribe to the stream. Hopefully, I'll be back tomorrow, and that's the plan. Once again, I'm Seabass signing out. Take care, guys. Good night. Bye.